What's going on, internet? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, you're not in heaven. This is just episode 67 of the Game and Illuminaughty podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and my co-host, who tried to kill me at PAX South, but I survived.
Oh my
his
God.
name used to be JG, but we now call him UTX Contagion the Don. Say what up to the people.
Hey, I almost died too, but don't nobody care about me. I shouldn't have went. I learned my lesson. Got the food for somebody else. This shit is serious. Yeah, just keep your heads up, because I almost got taken out. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
It is what it is. And my second co-host is versatile when it comes to these fighting games. He is an expert at doing auto combos, and not only Dragon Ball FighterZ, but Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And that's because he's not an ace of some trades. He's an ace of all trades. The ace of all trades. Say what up to the people.
Wow, sound like you got a little sodium in your diet. But anyways, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday so far. Let's get on ahead and talk about some games, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. And my third co-host has been busy working on his own game because he's sick of the industry and he's ready to stick it to the man. He's currently holds the speedrunner's record for Assassin's Creed Origins, claims to beat the whole game at 100% in 30 hours. And that's because he's gaming ethos. Say what up to the people, bro.
Yo, what up, everybody?
Yeah. And this episode's guest, we got two guests. Our first Patreon backer, who we're always grateful for. You've heard him before on various other videos. He goes by Young Horatio. Say what up to the people.
What's going on?
Hey, and our other Patreon backer we have today goes by King Killjoy. This is your first time on the show. I hope you don't kill the Joey on the show, man. Say what up to the people.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, and if you want to appear on this podcast or any other videos, be sure to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/GI updates. We have all different types of rewards in line for those who choose to financially support us. There will be a link in the description box below if you're viewing the video version of this podcast at youtube.com/The Black Hokage. And of course, feel free to take the show on the go. The GI podcast is available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and the Google Play Store. Make sure to download our free app to get the latest news on iOS and Android. It's totally free. Just search Gaming Illuminaughty on your respective app store. But just keep in mind that we spell Illuminaughty with the word naughty, and naughty or nice. Let's cut all the promotion and let's get into it. Opening conversation. Since the last podcast, one of the most anticipated games of the year has dropped. Dragon Ball FighterZ, or as Ace would say, Dragon Ball FighterZ, which I don't know why, but that's what he calls it. What's the name? Ace has been playing it the most. I'm gonna give you the floor on this one. Let's talk about it. How you feeling about Dragon Ball FighterZ, the highs and the lows?
I'll start with the negative. I know you guys don't necessarily like that, especially on the YouTube comments, but that's neither here or there. But the negative part of the Dragon Ball FighterZ is the fact that when you get online, seems like there's a bug when you're trying to join like a ring match, and a ring match is when you get like a friend and he wants to invite you so you guys can have like a private room. It seems like you can't join it. It says room not found. And then another thing that's really bothersome, that when you do get a room and you try to fight against other people, there's a certain type of lag when trying to switch out characters that I've noticed. And I know a lot of people have been having issues like either switching out their characters, or instead of switching out their characters, they'll do like an assist on accident. But other than that, the game is great. I mean, ever since we had the opportunity to play the game at E3 last year at Bandai Namco's booth, we all knew that we were going to pretty much pick it up. It's very fun. I actually just finished the campaign itself, and I finished all 3 arcs, and I have to say that I was happy about the story. It was really, really dope. It was fun doing like the combo challenges and doing a tutorial and everything. I will say though, if you guys are new to a fighter game, like be sure to do the tutorial and do the campaign, because the tryhards are out, boy. It's ridiculous. But there's some combos that are super dope. I'm gonna say Hit is pretty dope, but that's enough for it right now.
What about you, Killjoy? How you feeling about the game?
I haven't got it yet. I'm picking that up and Monster Hunter after this podcast, so unfortunately I can't really contribute on that conversation.
Do you have any idea who you want to play at least first?
I don't know. It's real hard for me. I haven't really been into any of the Dragon Ball Z games, or just any Dragon Ball game, like in the last 5 years, to be honest with you. But I've always been a fan of Trunks, so.
Okay, yeah, he is one of the better characters in the game. What about you, Jay?
He's pretty much hitting it on the head with all of the negatives. PSN, that's not an issue with Bandai Namco per se.
Ain't it down right now?
Yeah, PSN is going down. Like they been getting hit hard, man. Monster Hunter and DB Fighters coming out on the same day. I don't know if that's contributing to it, but it's pretty bad when you're just trying to get on online and knock some heads off. Another thing that I wish that DB Fighters gave you the option to do is actually disable auto combos, because I actually want to see what people can do. And sometimes like I end up doing it on accident. I'm trying like my best to stray away from it, because I actually want to do like some intricate advanced stuff. I wish you could actually turn it off, but that's just integrated within the combo system and the overall technical aspect of the game. But other than that, it's solid. I'll play the story a little bit later, but I'm just interested in trying to get my rank up.
What about you, Horatio?
Yeah, I really like the game, and just like Ace said, one of the bigger issues is the net code that they're having. With the auto combos, though, they've weaved it into the game, and it's not a bad idea to use them. Like honestly, for like if you can't do much of anything else, you can use them. Actually, the manual combos, there's only so many manual combos you can do.
It's like between like 5 to like 8, right? For like each character.
It's about like 4. It's like 4 or 5. So you'll probably end up doing the same one over and over again once you learn the manuals. But the trick is just landing them.
Mm-hmm.
And the only issue I have with the game, as far as like the gameplay, is there's no push block. And what I mean by push blocking is you got Marvel vs. Capcom, and they have that when you start blocking, you'll be able to push back an opponent from after he's rushing you down. In this game, you cannot do that. So like
or a combo breaker, you mean it?
Yeah, I've literally seen somebody who rushed down the whole, like for a solid like 40 seconds, forcing somebody just holding block.
Oh my god.
They were just tagging in assists, like at the perfect time, dragon rushing and whatnot, and being defensive is not really good in this game. Not too good. They only give you like this reflect, but you have to time that, and even that can be punished if not timed correctly, or even if it does land, that can still be punished. And they also have the tag out during the block, but you can't combo after it, which makes it even more irritating. Like when you tag out during a block, you just push your opponent to the other side, and I don't even think you get damage off of it. But yeah, the rush down is ridiculous. It's really bad. But other than that, it's a really solid game, and I'm gonna be one of the best fighters this year for sure. And this is my favorite DBZ game I've ever played.
What about you, Ethos? You got any thoughts on the game?
I never got a chance to play the game before it came out. I tried to play the beta on PSN when it was active, and it kept kicking me out of lobbies. So till this day, I've never had a chance to play the game. So I can't really say anything about the game. I don't know. I'm not really that interested. I mean, I might get it, but I don't know. It's just kind of mash to me.
Damn, man. I feel like we're being too negative on this game. Hold up. Like, let me say a positive. What's the name? Can we acknowledge that like they actually tried with the story? Like for the longest, when it comes to Dragon Ball games, we complain that they've been doing the same old Sand to Buu sagas, and it's like we're tired of that. And they actually gave us an original storyline with original dialogue, and not only that, but there's a ton of Easter eggs in this game, which is really dope. So like I just want to acknowledge that like I'm enjoying the story for what it is, and like they had to hand draw everything and animate everything, and like I said, the Easter eggs. So I think that's really dope. I definitely want to see more of that. I don't want to see any more of the Sand to Buu sagas. When it comes to these Dragon Ball games, let's stick to original stories. We have an original character in the game, so it's nice to just see them put effort forward. What's the name with the story? But I do agree with Horatio. Like there's times where like I feel like the combos in the game are almost too easy to do. I understand they want to appeal to a wider audience, but there's times where it's like I'm having a really good game where we're mixing up, and then they'll just hit me once with an auto combo, and then he'll just hit me 100 times afterwards, and you literally can't do nothing. Like you literally just have to sit there and just take it, and it's just like, bruh. Is there any other, like in any other fighter, there's usually a moment between like a combo where like you can break it and it's just like, all right, I just got to sit here and eat this 200 hit combo. And I feel like the game be making people look like they better than what they actually are. And it's true. Like, bro, you can't do this in any other fighting game, bro. Like, you're not that nice, bro. So I feel like it's almost a little too easy.
That's agreed. The story is definitely dope though, and that's slept on. I know you mentioned it earlier, but now with Super being coming to an end for the moment, I'm sure that they're moving forward when it comes to remaining Dragon Ball games. They'll probably incorporate that story somehow. Plus, I believe, if I'm correct, this game actually takes place right after the first tournament, so like between Universe 6 and Universe 7. Just to put that out there for people that watch Super.
Oh yeah, switching between characters is a pain in the ass for me still too.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
I've never seen like a fighter where you can have multiple fighters and like people say press the button. Some people say hold it down. In the tutorial it says hold it down, and you hold it down and it's like a delay. Like it takes like 2 seconds before you switch. And that's just a pain in the ass when you're trying to string things together or when you're trying to get yourself out of danger. Like I won't even be getting hit and I'm just holding the switch button because my character's at half health and I'm ready for him to come out and put another one in, and it's like hello, and by the time the game responds, fucking my character will come out and then that one's getting hit because the thing was too slow. So, like I feel like the game leaves you open too much when it comes to switching. It should be instantaneous, I feel like.
Yeah, it's agreed.
Yeah, I think a lot of the issue though is people will like back up and try to tag, but you need to move forward. Like the whole game is about moving forward. So if you move forward, it responds a lot faster. Or
depending on who you're using though, because hit you do the complete opposite because he takes up like half the screen with his movements and his attacks.
I mean, not only
That's
that,
not what
just
you're
literally just walking forward. Like,
okay,
move your character forward and tag and hold the tag, it will come out a lot faster than it would when you hold it back.
But I find it not working the majority of the time because when I'm actually trying to tag, I'm holding back to block.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But that's like that's not going to work though. They need to change that because that's when I'm actually trying to tag. Like when I'm in a block string, I'm trying to get out of it. And I can't bring a dude in, and then when the minute that I do press forward, that's when I get exposed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a cooldown. What you guys are saying in the chat, yes, there is a cooldown, and if you got, and there is a cooldown too if you guys use the assist button. Because I know we were playing one of the Patreon backers, and he was having trouble trying to switch out his character. It was. Plus, on top of the issue that at hand, there was also he was trying to switch out a character that he had just used an assist with, and there's some time that you have to let go forward before you can actually switch out to that character. So keep that in mind.
Marvel, so if you play any Marvels, there's going to be a cooldown.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Sam, one more thing. Me, Steven, and Chaos, man, when we tried that 3-on-3 mode, oh my goodness, it is great.
I heard it was fun.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It works out just exactly what you would think it will. You know, you can play as one character and you can literally tag out for another person on your team that they can control by themselves. So you're not controlling everybody. You just focus on your one player. It gets pretty crazy. I know I made Chaos mad a couple of times because I would literally tag him in the worst situations. My bad.
I was about to say, how does that work? Like, do you call out when you're about to tag? Because I feel like if you do it randomly, you might throw people off.
Yeah, I gotta communicate.
I've thrown Chaos off so many times, and there were times where Chaos would tell me what button to tag him with, and I would press the opposite button. I don't know why I did that. I just did it on instinct. And he would get so upset. Like, oh, my bad.
That's
Chaos.
funny.
But we did have a good time with it, man. I think that's my favorite mode out of the game right now.
I still gotta try that one. So, overall, do we have like positive first impressions of Dragon Ball? Like, would you recommend it to the chat to pick it up right now?
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay. So there it is, y'all. Overall, it's positive first impressions of Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's $60 right now. Available on all platforms. Check it out if you get a chance.
Not the Switch. It's not on the Switch. It's not on the Switch. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, I wasn't thinking of the Switch anyway.
It's a platform.
But sure. Yeah, it's not on the Switch. Moving on to Xbox news. February 2018 games for gold. Free games for you guys out there still paying for that Xbox Live Gold. On the Xbox One, you will get Shadow Warrior and Assassin's Creed Chronicles. I've heard Shadow Warrior is really cool, and then Assassin's Creed Chronicle. If you guys aren't familiar with that, that's the mini series where they had like 3 different ones. It was like Assassin's Creed China, Russia, and India, but it was like a 2D one. And then you get Split Second and Crazy Taxi on 360. Crazy Taxi is, of course, is a classic. And keep in mind that 360 games can be played on Xbox One with the backwards compatibility. So yeah, those are the games that you guys can look forward to on the Xbox. Other Xbox news. This is a multi-plat, but because this game was announced during the Microsoft showcase at E3, I thought I'd put it in this section. BioWare's Anthem has been delayed to 2019. Who wants to take the floor on this? How y'all feeling about this? Actually, Ethos, you talk about this one. You a big BioWare fan.
Got delayed. Good, I guess. I don't know. They haven't showed us barely anything, so I guess they delayed it because they can't afford another fuck up, so they've got to put it in. I'm guessing EA after Battlefront, they realized that they can't afford another like big controversy right now, so I guess they're just trying to make sure that because I think Anthem's probably their next biggest franchise that they're going to try to launch. It has to be a success for EA, especially from a stockholder's perspective. They have to succeed with it, and they can't have it like end up being like a critically reviewed game that's negatively reviewed, or like a lot of people don't buy it or end up boycotting it. So yeah.
But here's the interesting thing about this whole situation. In the article, they were saying that when they got on stage and they announced that it was going to come in 2018, they actually lied. They knew behind closed doors that they had no actual intention of releasing it in 2018. It was always going to come out in 2019, and I guess this was just supposed to be like a fake announcement, like, oh, we got to push it back. Do you think there's any truth to that? Do you think it was ever going to actually come out in 2018?
No, I think honestly, I don't recall anywhere that EA said this game was going to come out this year. I think that was just a bunch of gamers who just saw it. Publications, you know, they do this all the time where a game gets announced. That doesn't mean it's going to come out that year that it's announced, and they just immediately assume, oh, this will come out next year. But it rarely is the case. I remember when Andromeda was announced, people called bullshit on it because they actually said the release date was going to be in 2016, and they were like, that's like 7 months or something like that, and they were like, no, they're going to delay it, but they actually launched it the day that they said they would. So I guess this is I mean, I don't recall EA or BioWare ever giving a release date for this game, so I don't know where people are coming with that. I think that's just people being bullshitting.
So that. What about anybody else? Anybody else upset that Anthem has been delayed to 2019?
I'm not really surprised. I'm not, to be quite honest. I don't think they showed much of the game anyway, so I'm not like distraught about it at all. So it looks really interesting. Taking the Destiny concept, just trying to make it better.
That's what I was actually about to say. I was like, so this is the interesting thing I've been reading about it. This game is not what like they kind of showcase. If you read about the game, they're saying that they're coming after Destiny with this. This is supposed to be like an RPG, like Division style with numbers and stuff like that, and like a loot system and stuff like that. Do you guys want another game like that? Like, could you see like this actually working? Because my first impression, I thought it was just an action adventure co-op game, but they're saying it's going to be more RPG Destiny driven type.
You mean like RPG, kind of like how Destiny played, like more so towards Destiny, or kind of like
that's why they're pushing it back too. They're called the Destiny killer.
Yeah,
they're coming for they're hitting the looter mark. I mean, when we saw this at E3, I said that initially as well. I was like, this is a looter shooter, because the moment I saw them get a
is that what we call this genre, looter shooter?
Yeah, it's called a looter shooter. Well, I mean, it's been like Diablo's like that. Like Diablo's like a looter RPG.
That's true.
I always call it a dungeon
Borderlands
crawler.
2 was probably one of the first ones that I can recall at the top of my head, but Borderlands was probably one of the first mainstream ones. Then, you know, Destiny came out, and that pushed that genre into the mainstream like really heavy. And I think currently EA's, they're smart because they didn't know it at the time, but Activision pretty much like, and Bungie have just fucked up Destiny 2 to the point where like people are just looking for anything to like replace Destiny with, and Warframe's already taking a lot of their community, and a lot of people are just waiting for this for Anthem. So I mean, I don't mind it. The Division's actually pretty good right now, so I would. I'm
need to re-download
looking forward to see
that.
what it's like. Yeah, like Division, it took them 2 years, but the game's actually really good right now. And if I think like if Bioware can do the one thing that a lot of these looter shooters suck at, which is like narrative and storytelling, and their studio's usually renowned for that. If they can pull that off, then they could potentially kill Destiny. But this delay is kind of it kind of messes with that narrative because everyone knows that Destiny's going to drop like a Taken King expansion at the end of this year. So their time window to like take that community is it's shortening, because if Bungie releases this whatever massive expansion and it fixes all of Destiny 2's issues, then the Destiny fiends will come back to it immediately. But if they fuck that up, then I think Anthem's gonna succeed either way. I don't think it's gonna flop, but I don't think it's gonna be like a game changer. It's gonna be another looter shooter.
What's the name? Jay, you recently uninstalled Destiny 2. You're a residential Destiny hater here. What does EA and BioWare need to do for you to be interested in Anthem, since it's a looter shooter?
I would say definitely the narrative. Like after I beat the story for Destiny 2, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm really not the type of gamer that is interested in constantly doing the same thing over and over and over, trying to get new gear. I find that to actually be boring. You have to do something else to keep me intrigued. And what keeps me intrigued would, in this sense, would be the expansions. I just need something narrative-wise, story-wise, to keep me engaged and wanting to play it constantly. So that would be my thing, but I'm not surprised at this announcement or whatever, saying that it got delayed, or even if they said it or not, to come on 2019. As long as it's good, then I don't care about the delay. But they obviously have a lot riding on this one, since, like everybody brought the tiki torches for Andromeda, so. We shall see.
What about you, Ace? Because you're the residential super Destiny fan. You put the most hours in Destiny 1, and then you played a lot. You got like 3 different characters in Destiny 2. What do they need to do to draw you over for Anthem?
I mean, from what I saw from E3, I was already interested in it, but I just kind of going to line to what JG said about the story itself. That's what would really interest me, as well as we're able to do the 3 to 4 people co-op within the story. That would be dope as well. I feel like we have some pretty good times. I highly doubt that we're going to get it on Xbox. We get it on PC, but I'm already interested in the game itself, and I'm actually okay with it being delayed as long as they come out like swinging and the delay is worth it. I'm more than fine with that. I didn't necessarily care that it didn't come out in 2018, and I would actually argue to say that about being called the Destiny killer. I think Destiny already kind of killed itself with Destiny 2, because in the Patreon, if you guys have been in the Discord with us, that was like the most game we were playing every week. We were doing the weeklies, we were doing the raids, the lairs, and then the first DLC came out for Destiny 2, and it was cool at first, but after about 2 weeks or so, you saw a lot of people stop dropping and playing it, at least from our community's perspective itself. I mean, it's kind of already killed itself. Like, I haven't picked up Destiny ever since I got Destiny 2, since I got all the equipment that I wanted to. Like, I already have both my characters, my Hunter and my Warlock, both maxed out before the DLC dropped. Then after the DLC dropped, you can extend your level. I did that in about 2 weeks. Plus, they made it to where if you wanted to, whatever exotic item you didn't have, each week you can go to Xur and get another exotic item that you don't have. Once they implement that, I got what I wanted. There's no reason for me to play anymore. I already have everything maxed out and everything, so I'm basically waiting to the next DLC drop. So we'll see.
So this is a BioWare game, which they've always been known for having the conversation trees in their game. Like right off the bat, they were pushing co-op in this trailer when they announced it was 4-player co-op. What I want to see in this game is what they did in was it SOTOR, where everybody was in the cutscene. That has to be in this game. Everybody's got to be in the cutscene, and everybody gets to contribute to the conversation. If they do that, that shit would be fire. But what about you, Killjoy? What you want to see from Anthem?
Take EA off.
I feel that.
Nah, because here's what happened. When Anthem was announced, me and my friends, like we all just started playing Destiny 2. So this came out, we're like, oh damn, this looks dope. Like the gameplay looks dope, the graphics look dope. And then I saw EA and I'm like, I don't know about that.
So the question is, do y'all think they would mess this game up with loot boxes and stuff?
Oh, definitely, most definitely.
Oh man.
Well, you can get armor, you can get weapons out of loot boxes. Come on, you already know what's coming.
But hold on, bro. Come on. I know EA is stupid, but they fucked up Star Wars 1 and 2. Do y'all really think they're gonna take the risk of doing it again?
Didn't they bring the loot boxes back and they just changed it supposedly? Because I didn't
play that
shit.
No,
I wouldn't know.
They're still disabled right now. I still don't think they've fixed Battlefront 2's progression yet. It's still work in progress.
Hey, EA ruins good studios, man. I really hope that they don't do this with this one because they've already
you can already see
so much
how it's
potential.
a possibility. I can already see it. You can get different armor, you can get different colored armors. I'm not mad if games have loot boxes and it's completely aesthetic, but
like
if it's
cosmetics.
gonna change,
Yeah, cosmetic is fine.
But if it's gonna be like weapons and like legendary gear and shit out of loot boxes, nah, man, keep that somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they don't mess this one up, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see because the game got delayed till 2019, so it's another year. It's crazy because I don't know any other games that are coming out this year. I gotta look to see what else is coming out. I was looking forward to that.
Far Cry 5.
I guess.
Keep looking.
Whatever. Other Xbox news. Microsoft recently announced that they've added day one. Okay, so Microsoft has the Xbox Game Pass for those of you unaware for $10 a month, or you can buy the $60 like prepaid card. You get access to over 100 Xbox games, basically like a Netflix style of things. They recently updated the server, so now it includes first-party games, and you'll be able to play those first-party games day one. So when Sea of Z's comes out, you'll be able to play it if you have the Xbox Game Pass, or when Crackdown 3 or the new Forza or the new Gears of War, whatever is a first-party Microsoft game, you'll have access to that with the Xbox Game Pass. How do you guys feel about this? You guys think that this adds value to this? Is this something that interests anybody?
I'm cool. I'm good.
The Xbox are going to be happy. So
right.
Keeps them on their console. Keeps
I
them loyal.
I guess. What's the name? You guys, come on, bro. Y'all need to get a little bit more excited. Y'all don't want to play Sea of Thieves? Come on.
No.
Come on, Pirate.
If I really wanted to play it, I would play it on PC, right?
Right.
Forza 12. Come on, you want to go to Luke?
Nah, fam. I'm good, fam. Let's just keep it real. Like Xbox, I feel like I have no problem with the Xbox console. It's cool and everything like that, but I think they really just screwed themselves over when pretty much everything from Xbox comes to PC. If you already have a gaming PC and it's already doing 4K or 1080, 60 FPS and everything like that, then what's the whole point of playing the game on the Xbox itself? It's like they're almost killing themselves. Now, I understand there are people that are going to want to stick to their console, and that's more than fine. Go for it. You do you, but like they're really fucking themselves over. I mean, there's not really anything interesting to want me to play Xbox. Like, I'm not getting a Xbox One X. Like, I mean, speaking of that, TVH, you got a 4K monitor stand. What are you doing with it besides using it as a stand? Like,
my Xbox One X right now is to the right of me. I have a bag of chips on it. I have my monitor, my second monitor, so I can see the chat, and I got my glasses there. Yeah, it's a stand for stuff. I just put stuff on it.
Exactly. Like they need games. Like, look, as much as I would like, Anthem is gonna look great on a PC. Like, if Xbox wanted to bring people over, they gotta come out swinging with this. And Anthem it should have been a exclusive, not a console exclusive, because apparently that's changed. A complete exclusive to Xbox console. Now, if they would have done that, that would have been a possibility for me to be able to get an Xbox One X. But since they didn't do it, and since it's gonna go over to the PC, what's the point?
All right. Listen. Y'all gonna start hating on Xbox. Listen, listen. Gears of War Judgment 2. Xbox Game Pass. Y'all copy?
Stop, bro. Stop.
Come on, man.
No,
Stop grabbing Xbox.
This one, Gears of War Judgment 2. Dom comes back from the dead. You play as a zombie. You gotta get the locals. Come on, now.
You good? Hold that link.
You're using the Xbox as a cup holder, man.
Right. You got the 4K. You got the most powerful console using it as a stand, fam. I don't want to hear it.
4K
Whatever,
Spotify,
bro.
my nigga.
Right. 4K.
SoundCloud link. What's the name? I personally don't get the appeal of this just because I personally like to own my games. But I guess if you don't care about owning your games, I think personally this is a good deal because it gives you a chance to try more games for that kid that goes to GameStop and trades in a lot of stuff. I'd rather just pay $10 a month and get hundreds of games to play, and plus I get the first party stuff. So I mean, it's a good deal. Like I said, if you don't care about owning your games,
physical copies though, and maybe just because we're '90s kids and like people from the '80s too, like we like to actually like collect them. Like I like to have like a collection and be able to look back when I get older and everything, and be able to physically hold them instead of just having everything digital.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't care about that anymore.
Who was born in the 80s?
Block.
Flock, Siggy, JG.
Well, they're old heads, so they do.
Nomad.
You know,
Y'all niggas old.
That must have been like 89.
yeah, they old.
I'm
You
born
know,
88.
one's bald, so.
Yeah, cool.
that
my
already
God.
explains-
what does that got to do with age?
What?
Damn.
Leave Nomad alone, fam.
What's the name? Moving on to the last piece of Xbox news. I mean, this is really multi-plat news, but Dying Light, apparently it's not dead, and it's getting a Battle Royale mode. Well, it's Battle Royale inspired. In this new mode, it's going to be PvP and PvE. Each match begins with 6 players being dropped into a zombie-infested area. The goal is to collect enough zombie blood samples to earn a spot on the extraction helicopter before the night falls. It kind of sounds like the Division's, like, what was it called, the Dark Zone or whatever?
Yeah, that's the Dark Zone.
Yeah, but for some reason, when they decided to announce this, they called it Battle Royale. But to me, it sounds more like the Dark Zone. Are you guys interested in reinstalling Dying Light? Does this make you want to pick the game back up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried. Dying Light was a sleeper. It was really, really fun when it first came out. And
Was it a
like,
sleeper?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't
Yeah, I
think
feel like it was.
I don't feel like it was
A lot
talked
of people
about the
don't
way
think
it should have
it was
been.
good.
Like it was.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Like playing it at night and everything like that. When it gets to nighttime and having like the different type of zombies come out, it was dope. Like it was real fun. I'll play it again.
Play that over PUBG.
Facts.
What's your hatred for PUBG?
There's a lot of hatred for PUBG right now.
I don't
One of them
hate
Fortnite
it.
players, boy.
Yeah, you know it. Fortnite number one.
Okay.
I like Dying Light, man. When I first got it, it was on the PC, and I figured out when I was able to connect to my friend, we played it together, man. It freaked us out playing Dying Light, having like no abilities and stuff, just constantly having to run. And then you get towards the end of the game, and it's like, man, I have too many abilities.
That grappling hook, boy.
Destroying
That was
everything.
God, boy. That grappling hook was God.
God
But-
tier.
Yeah. This game was good though.
I'd rather see a
liked it.
sequel.
Start from the bottom.
I'm kind of tired of them adding stuff. Like, it's been a while. It's been since 2015. I'd rather see a sequel at this point.
Hey, the game still looked good though.
It
does.
looks amazing.
I mean, I would too, but they're still sticking to their formula with not having you have to pay for anything.
Exactly.
They've been
That's a
keeping
huge
support.
plus.
They've
I'll
keeping
take
support
that
for the game
over
for
a
2 years
sequel any
already.
day of the week.
I feel you. So I guess if you guys want to try it out, they're taking signups for the beta, or what's the name? Just go to the GI site and search the article. Dying Light is getting a Battle Royale inspired mode, and there's the link right there. Sign up for the beta, totally free. Just wanted to put y'all on to that. Moving on to PlayStation news. At the moment of this recording, it has not been officially announced, because I mean it's January 28th. It has not been officially announced what free PS Plus games you guys will get for the PlayStation Nation, but a Reddit user, quote on data mined, I guess, the PlayStation site or something, and found a quote unquote link with the banner, and supposedly, this is just a rumor, supposedly you guys are supposed to get Far Cry 4 and Dark Souls 2 for free on PlayStation. So I guess that's something to look out for. Just take it with a grain of salt because it hasn't been confirmed, but I thought I'd put it on there because if that's true, that's a pretty good lineup for free games, especially because not a lot is coming out in February other than Dynasty Warriors 9, which is JG's favorite game. So.
Yeah, damn right.
I decided to put this in the PlayStation news because Paragon was more of a PS4 game, even though it was a MOBA. Most of the community was on PS4.
Crazy.
If you guys have not heard, Epic Games is shutting down Paragon as of April 28th, 2018. So if you love the game, get a few more games in before they close it down. If you spent any money in the game, you could get a refund, bought skins, or you bought like the PS4 version or whatever, the disc or whatever. Be sure to get your refund. They are refunding everybody. This game is dead. It's gone. JG, I know you had a very just amazing relationship with this game. How do you feel about Paragon shutting down?
Before they actually, before the actually niggas correct you in the chat, it's supposed to be April 26th. So they'll get you.
Yeah, they be on
I know
it.
It says on the article it's the 28th. Just like, oh, look at the dates are all wrong.
My bad.
But anyway, back to
you
Paragon. It really sucks, man. I seen it coming. Fortnite just blew up. Like, I was really not expecting that battle royale mode to be so popular. But I mean, when you get a couple of big streamers on it, you know, put a little money in their pockets and have them play it, and they're like, oh, like this game is actually optimized. Like, man. I'm not having too many problems. Of course, there's problems here and there with the servers or hit detection or whatever. But again, I still wasn't expecting like something that was cartoony to like overtake the great PUBG. You know what I mean? So
you mean take the biggest PUBG streamers and have them play Fortnite?
Or I know, right? Like
that's
that's crazy. But anyway, back to Paragon. I wasn't seeing this coming because it seemed like the issues were so simple for them to fix. All we wanted were the towers to be buffed. I felt like that was just it should have been one of the more simple issues. Maybe it's just something else going on that we don't know as to why they refused to do it. I know that when we went, the whole point that like we were getting at was we wanted to lower match times, right? And they were like, okay, I felt like they just fixed that, like they fixated on that a little bit too much, and people ended up leaving. Like once Steve left, and I didn't even notice at first, once Steve left, then that game pretty much just went to shit. Like it became an actual brawler. They changed the map, they ended up changing the cards. Everything was again to try to fix match times, or because they said that like the original card system didn't work as well, but I actually liked their card system.
I did too.
The new card system did not end up fixing that issue. It actually made things worse. People were more OP than they were supposed to be. Like it just ended up being a freaking mess. And again, I just feel like starting off with the towers would have been a good step. Maybe even bringing the original map back, bringing Monolith back. I mean, not Monolith back, Legacy, and just see like how people would have responded with that map being back. Because I feel like even though that map was big, it had a lot of verticality. It like I enjoyed dunking the freaking ball. I enjoyed all of that interaction, like that forced interaction in a MOBA, and it didn't end up panning out. And they're just like, well, we're gonna just take all of our resources, put it into Fortnite now, and we're just going to try to cut our losses. And it's just a shame, man. It's a shame because this game looked great, man. It looked great visually. I feel like it was no other MOBA doing this. Everything else was top down besides Smite. And I just feel like they shouldn't have gave up, man. They really shouldn't have gave up. But when you got Fortnite doing the numbers that it's doing, that's just what they decided to do. So RP Paragon, I might play it one more time if there are even anybody on there, because I feel like after the announcement, man, everybody was pretty much like, fuck it, why even try to play it?
I feel that. What about you, Ethos?
Man, RIP Paragon, man. It was a great journey while it lasted, man. I have some fond memories of this game, and I have some moments that fucking made me want to rip my hair out. But I mean, overall, there was a lot of stuff. I gotta give a shout out to Epic though, because Epic flew me out the first time that this game got announced. And the weird part is that like when they did the first community thing, like when they first revealed the game and they were showing it to us behind the scenes before they like revealed it to the world, like the gameplay and stuff like that, they spent a lot of time with us like trying to understand like what the community wanted to get out of this game. This is like 2 years ago, like back in December or November, and I always remember that one of the things that I feel like they really understood was that was really being open and transparent with the community and talking with the community and like just listening to them in general, and they really took that to heart when they first started Paragon. I feel like initially like Paragon, like they were doing the right things, they were in the right steps. It was under NDA at the time, so I couldn't speak about it because the meeting was very private, but like they even showed us like the monetization they had in mind for the game, like long before they even publicly said what it was, and they asked for our honest feedback about that, and if we had issues with certain things being pay to win and stuff like that. So they really did care about the game, and they really did want to make Paragon great. I don't know when, if I could describe, I don't know the exact moment, but I think it was right around that area of the Death Ball. I think that's when the death ball problem appeared and the travel mode problems appeared. I feel like that's when things started to go downhill, because I feel like they were stuck with two very difficult design issues that they couldn't solve for, and they tried different small things and it didn't work out. And I think that they went too radical to fix the issue, to just straight up just rip the map and just make a brand new map instead of trying to actually like, just what if we can try to fix this issue, or what can we do to fix that. And I feel like after Monolith happened, I think it just became like a downward spiral, because they had to change too many things, and those things overall, just those increments and changes, just basically it alienated the community. So the people who've been playing it for a long time got sick of it. New players could never learn the game because the game kept changing way too much. And I think really like Epic shot itself in the foot, and it realized that it did fuck up. I do appreciate that they did do refunds. That was a good look on them, and for them to acknowledge that they fucked up at the end of the day. I don't think Fortnite is straight up the reason why Paragon died. I think it was ultimately they realized that the core of their game was broken, and that like they would, in my opinion, if they were going to save Paragon, they would have to literally shut the game down and rebuild it from the ground up all over again, and then re-release it. But I can't think of any company that would, from a financial point, ever be okay with that, especially when your current player numbers are dwindling and they aren't growing like Fortnite. So, I mean, it sucks, but like, I don't think any logical person could look at this whole situation and be like, oh, Epic should have kept going with it. I think that's what we all believe, is there was a point where we all just felt like deep down inside that, yeah, like this just won't work out anymore, because like they just, every time something was changed, every time something were fixed, like even though towers weren't fixed, but like anything else they tried to fix would ultimately compromise the game or cause another issue. So I feel like the foundation of their game wasn't well built. I feel like it was put together pretty, I think, earlier than it should have been before they publicly showed it, and that's ultimately what fucked them over at the end of the day. So,
is somebody building something in the background?
I was waiting to ask that too. I heard.
What is that noise?
Constant clicking noise.
Oh, like somebody playing a game or something.
No, that was my camera. I was trying to fix the little flap on it. I was trying to fix.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I felt like what was it? Was it V41? V42 was Monolith, right?
Version 42?
I forgot. It's been a long time. It was something.
I think V42 was when they introduced the card system, the new card system.
No,
right?
V42 was a new dawn. That's when things really got like.
So that was the new card system then.
No, that was like the whole
that was like an update.
All right. So whatever version it was, the one right before they introduced Monolith, I felt like that's when, you remember they removed the travel system, and then instead everybody just ran at a steady speed. Yeah, I felt like that's when it was at its best.
Yeah,
and I don't know why they changed the game. I felt like that fixed I remember they stopped deathballing after that, because you couldn't do it.
Yeah, you couldn't roll. Yeah, and that's the issue. It's like there's a bunch of issues. So I don't think it's ever like, I think the issue with Paragon was never just one thing. Like, I think even if they had buffed the towers, I don't think it would have fixed Paragon. I feel like
it would have been a start.
Oh yeah, the state it's in now,
especially the state it was in. Like, even if they fix the towers now, I don't think it would have fixed the issue at all. I think it was a couple things. If anything, I think one of their design philosophies fucked them over, because I feel like they wanted to make sure Paragon stood out, but I think because they wanted to make Paragon stand out, they did some design decisions that even I like when I first went, I didn't agree with, which was like, I remember I brought up to them privately, I was like, I think at some point people, they're not going to like this card system, or it's too complex and it doesn't explain itself very well. And I was like, why don't you guys just do like League? Like, I know that's like, people will be like, oh, you're just copying League, but like the reason why League's item system works is because it's smart. It's very well done. And I'm not going to knock you for like literally taking the system that they have and just coming with your own twist for it, because it would have done, I really feel like it would have made Paragon a lot faster. Like, in my opinion, if they had just got rid of the rooting problem, right, and they had it in that patch that you said that Paragon was its best, and they instead added like an itemization system with like movement speed increases, so like how League does its boots, and then there's different types of boots, so like certain boots will help your attack speed, certain boots will help your your tenacity, which helps you like reduce the amount of time it takes for you to be like crowd
League
controlled.
also has an auto buy system too, right?
An auto what?
Like which could help you learn. Like it's not something you use in the long
it
term,
doesn't
but like
have
when
an
you first,
auto-buy.
it gives you an
Yeah.
it gives you an idea of
Mike
how to
does.
build.
Yeah,
Mike
like
definitely does.
Paragon had that too. Remember? So like when Paragon had the part card system, they had like the base would be like, here's your basic items, pick these, and then pick those. But the problem
It
was,
gave you a starter deck. It didn't tell you how to build the deck.
right.
Though.
Well, no, they did update it, and it did have like if you use one of those auto decks, it would say this is for early game, this is for mid game, this is for late game. Like that was in Paragon. But the problem was that starter deck was by far like shit
Trash.
tier compared
Yeah,
to like the
sucked.
custom builds you could do. So like new players, why would you use a starter build? Yeah, you can use it to learn the game, but it's not going to make you competitive, and you're just going to piss off the teammates that you play with because they're going to have their custom builds, they're going to know their shit, and it doesn't help. And I think you brought up as well, it doesn't help that half of your or 3/4 of your community has never played a MOBA before. And on top of that, like the community, in my opinion, I don't feel like the community also failed this game because I don't feel like the community really was trying to help like newcomers understand the game, which I understand because like Paragon didn't have enough time to build up that sort of like infrastructure to allow that type of thing. Like Dota has a coaching system where literally you can sign up as a coach and new players can click this option that can allow them to be like queued up with a coach who can help them
That's
like
dope.
learn the game.
And that's
Yeah,
pretty
like,
dope.
I
That's
didn't
cool.
know that.
yeah, like
that's real
Dota's
cool.
had this system for years, and it drastically helps that like onboarding process of like new players who jump into Dota have no clue what they're doing. It helps them learn how the game because someone automatically is like, you know what, I have time, I'll teach someone, and then that puts the expectations of the match right there, like at front, so you know what to expect when you're going into that match. So there's like, there's a couple things they could have done.
As I
feel
said in
like.
my video, I was actually really surprised. Like, if you go on my Reddit, the Paragon Reddit, my video's on the front page. I was actually really surprised. That was the main thing they commented on. Apparently, a lot of people got their posts deleted when they were trying to improve the game. There was a lot of silencing going on from the mods and stuff, and it's like the community was just mad toxic when people were trying to either learn the game or improve the game, and that's crazy. I didn't know that like it was that rampant that there was that many white knights.
The mods fucked it up too. I talked to one person, I won't say their name, but I did talk with one person who was remember the Saturday massacre that happened?
Yeah.
So I talked to one of the people that was involved with it, and I feel like that was like a little undertone like of what in the background was going on from a moderation standpoint. But I feel like at some points I don't think it was like Epic, the devs themselves were trying to like hide the bad feedback, but I think it was more of like, yeah, the moderation community, some of the moderation mods got a little bit a little bit too authoritarian on like how they would address like feedback, and I think that was the problem. Is I think Epic gave their mods too much power.
They got power happy,
Yeah,
that's
I
what it
feel
was.
like they should have kept it where only mods in their Reddit and stuff like that were people who were employed by Epic who worked at Epic every day, and they were not like
Didn't help
like
they
people
was
like
flying
Arctic,
them out either.
People like Arctic and Mooney should have been like the ones who were only mods in there, and I understand like they have a lot of stuff they have to do, but or they should have
you
hired
can't
people.
moderate that. You're right.
Yeah, and by like just picking people who were like, oh, this person's very active in the community. Okay, we good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay, but picking somebody because like, oh, they've been in the community for like 5 months and they've been really helpful in the Reddit community, let's make them a mod. I mean, that's great intentions and all, and I really do appreciate that they did that for the community, but I feel like you gotta have a better vetting than just like, oh, this person's been here for a very long time and they were just nice on the forums, because I mean, we already know that firsthand that people, they have that, they'll obviously act like that because they want to be in good grace and good favor, and then the moment they get power, they'll start to show their true colors. So yeah,
it is what it is.
And I've talked about TBH, we've all talked about this, like me and Nomad, like we've met those certain people and stuff like that, and I don't try to start beef with people, especially in gaming community. I mean, TBH didn't give a fuck. Like that's
on site.
That's like for him, like he was literally like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna say what it is. I just kind of took a more passive stance to everything because in my opinion it was just like, it just wasn't that serious to me. But like I understand what TBH was saying and like what he was saying, and I think at the time, I think if we all go back to that time, I think that on both sides there was a bunch of mistakes that were made that they should have seen way earlier and addressed. And if I could go back in time and be like, yo, like if we had a chance to talk to them like one more time, I feel like something could have changed. If anything, I don't know, I guess if anything, if they really did, they have one more shot, I really feel like right before they launched the card system, I think they went about the wrong way. They just literally what did they do? They emailed a couple of community people. They somehow emailed me, which was surprising.
And they gave you access, like early access.
And they gave us behind the scenes like of a closed build of it. And they just said, hey, try it out, give us feedback. But this was like literally, I would guess maybe 100 people, maybe less, who got access to this. So you have a small pool of feedback that you're pulling from. Most of these people are your dedicated community members. So and so I feel like sometimes there's a little of bias of like feedback you're gonna get. And not only that, like you only give them like a weekend to work on like such a complex like system of your game. Like there's no way that any of us, like not even me at the time or JG when we first tried it, like there's no way we would have like been able to figure out like, oh, the community was gonna like, you know, figure out the best cards and immediately destroy the system or find this thing that they can exploit immediately. Like we don't have enough time to do that. So I feel like what they should have done was they should have either dedicated a week or like another like event behind the like closed event. They should have invited those like same community members, like the people who were really dedicated to the game, and like a couple people who were like new, who were like brand new and didn't really understand MOBAs, and like really get to like see what they really think about the game and their feedback. Or if anything, invite the community members and have them like, oh, if they're willing to, have them all sit down and come up with a possible way to fix like the issues of the game, and like kind of like a democratic like voting process or something like that. I feel like that would have been way better. And I agree with the tower thing, like what JG said. I feel like if they had, I forgot what it was, I think it was it Lawbreakers? There was some game I remember we were part of. They set up their forums where, or maybe it's Star Citizen, but they set up their forums where they're like, here's a new feature idea, or here's a new like balance change idea. And then they put it up there as like on like these note cards, and then people who like that idea would vote it up. And as it got voted up higher and higher, it would get up higher and higher on a priority list. And then like the devs would look at it and be like, okay, these are top changes that the community wants.
I know
to
Discord
see.
did that.
Yeah, I think it was Discord. Yeah, and it's like, all right, let's do that. And so then they start to actually implement it and they change it, they push it through, and then they're like, all right, tell me what you think. Like that's what they should have done. So, yeah.
Gonna cut the water. Horatio, you got any opinions on Paragon?
A little bit. Pretty much Ethos touched on everything, and I've been playing Paragon since the beginning, and since it was in like a strong alpha. Originally, for me it was the matchmaking, because it wasn't just the fact that it was matchmaking you against people that are bad. It was matchmaking you against other carries. Like it didn't have like a rule originally matchmaking, and it took forever for them to decide to figure that out. That maybe we should have a lobby where you actually see what other people pick, and that even then that didn't work out. It still had a lot of people that wanted to just do their own thing, and the only reason why that was possible is because of their item systems would allow characters to play outside their role, extremely far outside their role. And it kind of hurt the game a lot. I don't know, I think really it comes down to it. I think Epic was just trying to be really different. I don't know if it's so much if people not listening, or I mean they're not listening to the community, but I also feel like they were trying to be different, so they didn't initially cut out a lot of stuff because they wanted to have that, you know, uniqueness over every other.
They were trying to be so different they ended up being like everybody else. Is just the funny part.
Yeah, but it got a lot worse when they trying to be.
I felt like their card system and then the whole dunking the orb was enough for it to be original. Like there's only so much I feel like you can do with a MOBA. It had a couple original ideas, and it had the travel system too. Like there was a few original ideas in the game. It's like that's enough. Like there's only so much you can do with a MOBA to make it unique, and then the graphics alone was unique too. So it's like I don't know. I don't know what exactly they were trying to do that was like super unique. You have any opinions, Ace?
I mean, it was fun where I lasted. It had so much potential. I like JG and everyone else is saying the game was just gorgeous. I wasn't really a MOBA person at all, even though you guys will argue that this is really considered a MOBA itself, with all the
You cut out. What'd you say?
Glad to hear your opinion.
There you go. No, we're good. Go ahead.
I don't hear him.
Nah, they still that wasn't him, bro.
I don't hear him now.
Yeah,
Thanks for your opinion, Ace.
Yeah, I feel that, Ace. I feel that, Ace.
Unfortunately, another L has been given. We
The L
apologize
gods
for the
have
technical
summoned
difficulties.
Yeah, the L gods need him.
We need to deliver you an L. I think what Ace was trying to say is it had a lot of potential, but it is what it is. Killjoy, did you have any opinions on it?
Like a lot of people in here, I was playing Paragon since I think I got in around like the second stage they did for Alpha. But for me, my first introduction to MOBAs was League of Legends, and I still play League of Legends, so playing this was different, and I tried to come into it with an open mind and kind of look at it sort of like Smite, since they have the similar camera angles, but it was just something I couldn't get into. A lot of it was because of the community for me, like you said. I feel like they really didn't listen. They kind of just did whatever they wanted. I feel like if companies in general just listen to what the community is saying, then they can have significantly more successful games as opposed to just doing what they feel is best, or as opposed to trying to patch games and put in hot fixes that only affect how like professional play is.
I feel that.
One
Look
more
at
thing is,
go ahead.
My bad. One more thing is, I think it didn't help that it didn't have a voice chat initially on PlayStation, which made no sense to me because why wouldn't you have a voice chat for this type of game?
When we got flown up, they were saying they didn't want to initially put voice chat in the game due to toxicity. They felt like people were just going to talk shit to each other.
I guess that
I mean, it's very true. They were definitely going to do that.
I was ready to.
I was waiting for it. It's like, oh man, all new content, baby.
Oh man.
And also the China servers are still up for Paragon. Apparently they're not going to end it.
That's what I read. Yeah,
really.
I heard something.
So there's
about
like people in the Reddit talking about they're gonna play the Chinese version, I guess.
So what's the purpose of doing that though? Like having it over there and having it active still.
Yeah, but you still want to play it in the state that it's in. Like, do you really enjoy it that much?
There's talk about Tencent maybe buying it. They're the ones who own League and Arena of Valor, so I don't know.
Oh well, then if they buy it, then will they bring it back to the States and have it available?
The thing is,
for
I don't know
everybody
how
to
much
use?
merit is in that rumor because I just see it in the Reddit. I don't know anything about them actually wanting to buy it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like that's people suggesting that they buy it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
said that it's,
that's a suggestion. That's not anything concrete.
Okay.
So wait, it's an actual company doing it, or is it kind of like how that group of people did with the vanilla World of Warcraft servers?
No, no, Tencent's like a conglomerate in China. They're the biggest gaming conglomerate right now. They
They own the
total
world.
combined. Yeah, they are 2 times still bigger than like if you combine EA, Ubisoft, Activision, Blizzard together. Like you put them all together, Tencent's still bigger than them because they
Tencent
own the
has a
majority
stake
of
in
the-
Epic too, don't they?
Yeah, and they own I think 40 or something of Epic games because they.
Oh, okay.
I think
Oh,
it was,
wow.
That's why
They're
some
like an
people would think
Illuminati
that.
group.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're like
true,
the
true.
Illuminati of gaming.
Yeah,
I think I've
stuff
said
in
a
the
couple
background.
times. Yeah, like a lot of times I've said a couple times on here. I like if you're trying to figure out what things are going on, like from a business standpoint of like where gaming is going from an industry, you just watch Tencent because if Tencent's name's involved, something big is probably going to happen, or they're about to do a move to China. So I'm assuming Tencent already owns like probably 40% I think of Epic, and then they're probably using Tencent to be the publisher and like pretty much provide the servers for like China Paragon. So I mean, it's possible, but Tencent doesn't usually do operations in the United States. They usually have that's why they buy these other like companies in the United States to like pretty much promote whatever they want. From like a USA division, they take care of all the stuff like overseas in like China.
Interesting.
So, yeah,
I do feel like another company should actually like take the code on what they built and try to expand on it. I don't feel like they should completely abandon it.
I mean,
but it is what it is.
If anything, I
know
think
it's gonna happen.
in these last months they should just honestly like put Legacy Agora back in and just be like, hey, go nuts. Like, do you have nothing?
I feel that.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
And the thing is, if they do that and it repopulates the servers,
then
maybe
they might
relook
keep
at the
it.
game.
Yeah, like I feel like if right now, like I say, just go nuts on it because you have nothing to lose at this point. Like, just disable monetization, either like open this up to allow like modders to go in and just like do whatever they want to the game, or like to add new content to it for free. Like do like what they did with they're doing with like Unreal Tournament, the new one. Just literally like it's make it like a very small like fan project and be like, yo, you could do whatever you want to it using our like Unreal tools, and you might never know. Like, hey, I don't know how it would work, but like if somehow like if they bring Agora back and they just keep everything the way that things or in the towers that Agora used to have, like the same type of damage, and they keep this new card system, like maybe that might actually, like, if it improves the game and they see a boost, they might be like, yo, maybe we should give it another shot or something.
I'd be for it.
It doesn't hurt you at all, except like what you have to pay for servers. But
Try it again.
I'd give it another shot if it was on Agora.
Just give it, just listen to the community. I know I said a lot of reckless things, but that was only because the community.
Out of love, it's out of love.
It's out of love. You the community's full of bitch ass niggas. So
you're hurt, and people on the Reddit decided just to when it came to constructive criticism, decided to get rid of everything.
I mean, the only reason I ever got mad though is like if it was the mods and they were just deleting my shit, I'd be like, yo, there's some bitches, but like I wouldn't have said nothing like on Twitter or nothing. The only reason I was mad is because a lot of those mods, for those of you who don't know, I met them in real life at the at the Paragon events, and they were very quiet and soft spoken and nice. Then they get on the internet and they tough as shit, and I'm like, bro, it's on site when I see you, bro, because you was mad polite when I met you, nigga. I hate that shit.
I'm gonna talk real quick.
Trying to act like you don't know who I am in the damn post, bro. But it is what it is. R.I.P. Paragon. Should have listened. Shout out to this Ubisoft. We got the next little bit of news. PlayStation. It was a nice little conversation we had about Paragon. It goes to show that there was love. There was love
passion. There was passion behind it.
Hey, yo, Epic though, when you need somebody else to, if you need a game to replace Paragon on that browser, I'll send y'all an email. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it.
You already got it drafted.
Yeah, I already got your pitch.
This guy.
I
want you to leap into his project.
Yeah, I need y'all to leap on this project.
Oh man,
let's make Epic great on that browser.
3 Ubisoft games have been delayed. For those of you unaware, those games include Far Cry 5. It has been delayed to March 27th, 2018. The Crew 2 has been delayed to March 16th, 2018. I mean, it's been delayed to the first fiscal of 2019, so that's actually been pushed way back. And then they had an unannounced franchise sequel that's been delayed to 2019, possibly 2020. What do you think? What do you think that franchise sequel could be?
Division 2?
Splinter Cell
sequel? Yeah, it's probably Splinter Cell. They're on that stage now. It's probably Splinter Cell. I was surprised they didn't announce it this year. That could have been why.
That'd be dope though. Splinter Cell was a good. Splinter Cell was a good series of games.
I don't think there's ever been a bad Splinter Cell game.
Well, people apparently didn't like Conviction, but I loved Conviction. But they only said that because it was very casual. But
yeah, and that's the one that I enjoyed.
But I loved.
I think Double Agent.
I thought Conviction's co-op was probably one of the best co-op games of all time. So I don't know what people are talking about.
Was that the last one that came out?
No, Conviction was the one before Blacklist. It was like 2010. It was the one that introduced the Mark system, and there's that co-op where you play like as a U.S. guy and a Russian guy, and you have to stop like a nuke from Russia. It was really good.
Was that the one that also came out on the Ouya? Like the beard and stuff.
Yes, I think. Weird enough.
Shout out to the Ouya.
Yeah. Ouya had games.
Yeah, it had
you're the only one that got an Ouya, right?
Yeah, somewhere in here in the house, somewhere. What's the name? I'm surprised that the Crew possibly pushed back to 2019. Like, who is asking for the Crew 2? Don't nobody want to drive across America.
The Crew has a fan base, man.
Community for it.
Does it really?
Yeah, there's a community for it.
Yeah.
Don't you just drive the whole time?
When it got, I mean, yeah, but
so it's just NASCAR.
No, yeah. I mean, you can't get out. Yeah, you can't get out of the car.
I remember they was begging me, Ethos, and Siggy to play that shit when we went to the Ubisoft place for E3.
We said, miss me with that shit.
He's like, you want to play the Crew 2? And we just laughed.
They gave us a choice. Look, just to show you how bad it was, before we played it, they gave us a choice between that or Mario, and we picked Mario. Just putting that in perspective of how we tried.
The Mario Rabbids.
Yeah, and then we turned out loving Mario Rabbids.
It's a no for me,
also,
dog.
people in the chat, I did not say Conviction was a bad game. I said some people said it. I liked Conviction. I don't know what y'all just be.
Hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, fam. Relax.
He explained why they didn't like it.
I explained why people didn't.
They said it was casualized. Did you pay attention or did
somebody in the chat triggered?
Yeah.
Yo, I realized that the chat did not like Ethos.
Nah, they don't.
They do.
Then they act like they like me later on when I'm right, so it doesn't. I'm just
it's usually how it works.
But let me. I will say though about this entire thing is I gotta give credit to Ubisoft, yo. Like dead ass, they're probably like my favorite AAA publisher right now. From everyone else, like they've been killing it. Like this past year, they were like on a roll. Like they released. I can't think of one bad game Ubisoft released last year. Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I only know 2: Assassin's Creed and then Mario Rabbids.
They did
What else
Assassin's
did they
Creed,
release?
Mario Rabbids, Siege is still going strong. Like,
True.
I
Yeah.
feel like
True.
they've been taking consistent W's. Like they haven't taken a major L in a while, which is
Well,
It took long enough because everybody was thinking that
Like, I
Assassin's
feel like
Creed
they're-
was going to be one.
I feel
but
like they're
it
getting
ended up
back
being
to
one.
that. They're getting back to that. You know that Ubisoft we used to like way back, like back in the early.
Oh yeah, they also
60 days.
announced Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, and Beyond
true.
Good and Evil 2 might be coming out either like late this year or next year. So
they still got stuff for Honor. Yes, some people are still playing it. I know
They're
Nomad
adding
is playing
dedicated
it.
servers finally.
Oh,
Yeah.
I put that shit down. Yo,
Yeah,
For
I got
Honor,
back
me
on
too.
it. I got
I
back on
forgot
it. It's
about
pretty
For
dope.
Honor. I mean,
Oh, you know what? No, they're right
trying.
in the chat. Ghost Recon was an L in my opinion.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh,
Supposedly
and I
it's
also-
gotten better, but at launch it was
Yeah,
an L.
but I will. Another thing that they did good is the Division. The Division's really good right now as well. I feel like Ubisoft. It's always initially they fuck up, but I think as like they're like wine, like fine wine. Like over years they'll get whatever their products. If I give it credit for anything, EA always abandons their projects if they fuck up. Like if they fuck it up, they just let it die. But like Ubisoft, they will fuck something up, but to give them credit, they will stick with it and try to fix it, which is something I
Right.
can respect.
The problem is, though, there's too much competition. So like, the Division could have been so much more if they would have just got it right in the first
well, it
place.
could have been, but it's good now. I mean, perfect timing, right? Like Destiny 2 just killed itself. So I mean, it was coincidence. They couldn't have predicted that, but like, hey, like that's the same thing with Siege. Like it was like it came out, people thought it was gonna flop in a month, and then somehow it survived and it got like it's probably like the best FPS on the market right now. So it's I don't like Ubisoft. I think has just been like lucky as shit. Either they're lucky as shit or like they are on some Illuminati shit and they just know what's gonna happen in the near future. It's weird. It's fucking.
It's crazy because I thought the Division was going to be like dead on arrival. Like after
Yeah.
we played it, we were like, I don't know about this. Like we good, and they were still like every time I look around, like a few months later, they were still
Yeah.
supporting it. I'm like, what are
But
y'all
why
doing?
y'all
Like
doing
like a little
this?
kid getting knocked down and just keep getting back up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
That's
and
them,
now
dog. They're the
randomly I
little
see people
underdog.
on the Division again. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, did they finally get it right this time?
Yeah,
They got
that's
like
what-
a little community back.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe Far Cry 5 is gonna be fire. Like I thought.
I was gonna say,
Assassin's Creed
does
Origin
anybody
was
care
gonna be-
that it was delayed?
Because
Or
no, the funny
I
thing
mean, I'm
is,
getting it.
so we
I
saw. I wasn't really that hyped because I remember we both played Far Cry 5 and we played Assassin's Creed Origin, and I felt the same way about both of them when we left, which was like, hey, okay, cool, but like I wasn't like really blown away. And then like Origins came out and was like, oh my god, wow, this is actually really fucking good. Like maybe that's the same thing with Far Cry. Like,
well, it's like I said when we did the video. Me and you did the video. I was like, the problem with demoing Far Cry and Assassin's Creed is the open world
it's
games in
hard.
Perishable. It's
Yeah.
hard because they put us in the middle of the game with no context, and it's like, what's
Exactly.
going on?
and we're just like, what are we doing right now? So like maybe Far Cry 5 may have like a fire story, and
And I remember us being like, "Yo, is Bayek like boring or whatever?"
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
we
like
didn't know what
after
Bayek
playing the
was.
game, like you brought up a very good point on Twitter, and I agree with you. I noticed like the little details in Bayek, the way he might be better than Ezio, like the way that he speaks to people.
Yeah.
Like when he speaks to kids, he speaks
It's
in a different tone compared to when he speaks to his enemy or he speaks to his wife or whatever. I was like, that attention to detail I can appreciate.
yeah.
That's really dope.
So
I think
we'll
that
see if people love Far Cry.
once again, what they need to do to and hopefully the delays make sure of this is the optimization, because even
Yeah.
you said like when Assassin's Creed came on the PC, like yo, it sounded like your PC was about to blow up. You couldn't even stream it. So like,
It's running better now. I can
yeah,
stream it
it's
now.
running better now. And again, that's what he was talking about. Like eventually, Ubisoft seems to get it right. So I wish they could get it right in the beginning. Then we wouldn't have to give them an initial
Yeah.
L. But I think that they're slowly doing better.
Better.
Again, one of the main things that they just needed to stop doing was bringing out Assassin's Creed every freaking year.
Yeah.
And once they figured that out, they're like, okay, we're going to slow down on that and actually give it a little bit of time because maybe the game can actually be good if we
And
stop
make a shit
pushing
ton
one
of
out.
money.
And
Yeah.
it'll make you more money because now you don't have that bad track record, or you can just push that behind you.
Yeah, and they've been doing good. Like, if there's one thing I think I give Ubisoft credit for is they've always been a publisher that pushes like what a game can be about forward compared to a lot of other people. Like EA is the most safe fucking publisher ever. Like they will not try to innovate any of their games, but but Ubisoft has consistently tried to create these new IPs with these brand new ideas. Their execution usually is not as good or as solid as a lot of other publishers, but like if there's one thing I give them credit for is like they come up with these like very awesome game concepts and they try to execute on it. Usually it's a little bit over ambitious and it pales in comparison, but then they realize where their scope was too big, and then they try to like even it out so they can come up with a fair balance, and that usually takes them like a year or something like that. So I mean, I've been thoroughly impressed by a lot of the things that Ubisoft has done recently.
Watch Dogs 2 was fire too.
Watch Dogs 2 was
actually
dope. Watch Dogs 2 was actually pretty good. Like, I'll even admit, like, I remember you and me talked about, like, at first, like, I was just like, I don't think this game's gonna be that good. So like that, and I played it, and I was like, wow, it was like, you know, it was better than what I originally thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, South Park too.
And yeah, South Park and like Assassin's Creed was just like the biggest like knockout of the park for Ubisoft. Like, I say, and I still say, like, it's in my opinion on the level of Witcher 3. Like, when I think when Anon, and it's funny Anon hasn't played the game yet, because I remember Anon said that like that was his standard, and all new games would have to reach that standard, and
it's reached it.
Ubisoft has reached that standard now, and so the question is now is can they consistently keep that level of standard like they did with Origins? And if they do that, like Watch Dogs 3 would be like insane. Maybe this Far Cry game will be fire. The Splinter Cell game might be really good. And honestly, and I've said it time and time again, if anybody, I know everybody's doing this battle royale shit, people are getting sick of it already, but like I think Ubisoft, if anybody, is the one that could really like make that game genre fire. Like
they should have did it with Ghost Recon.
Yeah, either like Ghost Recon or The Division. Those two are like, they don't even realize it. Like, I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet this right now. Ghost Recon currently isn't in its best state. Like, their PvP mode was a step in the right direction, but it's not enough. Their PvP mode is basically like they try to capitalize on Siege's success, and it's still, in my opinion, it's a good mode. I bet you any money that by next year, either this E3 or by next year, they will announce a battle royale mode for Ghost Recon Wildlands, and
yeah, I can't see it with the Division because the RPG element.
Yeah, not the Division. The Division's a maybe, but there's too much like balancing issues. But Ghost Recon is perfect for it. I remember I played it, and me and Anon me and Jojo were playing it, and we were like, yo, like, what if PUBG had this level of quality, like in the animations and everything? Like, this would be the best PUBG game. Like, it would beat PUBG. And so if they basically just copy PUBG, they could kill it. Like, they could immediately wipe out PlayerUnknown in a matter of months once their version comes out. So I hope they do it, because I feel like they already have the groundwork. I think it only takes them maybe a good 6 months, maybe a year of development, and they could easily get that mode ready for Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I think it'd be successful. So,
and to silly Luiga that asked in the chat, yes, you can play Far Cry 5 stealthy. You can play action or stealth. It's up to you.
Or you get a Doge.
Yeah, you get a Doge. So yeah, those games have been delayed. It'll be interesting to see if they just do they have anything coming out this year, Ubisoft? Since they delayed. Well, my bad.
Far Cry.
Yeah, but say Far Cry's still this year. The other two got the crew's not guaranteed this year than the other one. So it's just Far Cry so far this year.
Oh.
I feel like that other one is probably like a sequel to Siege.
You think they would put a sequel? I'm riding high right now. I don't know if they're gonna put out a sequel.
I just started playing Siege recently, but it's definitely one of my favorite games to play. Like,
yeah, there's no reason they should even waste resources making a brand new like Rainbow Six game when like this game is.
It's still strong. Like, they
strong.
just did an update like what, a month and a half ago. Like,
they just released a big ass update, and now they're about to release a whole like zombie mode in it now. Like,
oh yeah, I did hear about that.
That game, like that game literally can survive for like as long. I think it can survive as long as Counter-Strike has survived for. They could really just keep it going with that game. They don't really
you're saying Siege can last as long as Counter-Strike?
Yeah, I really think it can. It's already beating Counter-Strike, I think, in player count and what else is it? Active players.
It could, as long as they remain transparent with their community and continue to update it.
As long as they don't do something drastic like Battlefront pay to win, or they don't drastically like mess up something horrible with the balance of the game. Like, if they just keep on adding more and more, like what I think is, and I think I read somewhere in a physical, is like they want Siege to have 100 operators. Like, that is in Ubisoft's like in their they want to turn it into like a League of Legends. Like, they want to make it where it's like, and this is why people are getting like kind of annoyed by the pricing. Probably in another year or two, they're gonna make the base like year one game all free, so they can get more and more, because once they open the free-to-play market, it's over. Like, Siege will definitely beat CSGO, and it'll be number one.
It would explode.
Shooter. Yeah, it would absolutely explode.
Somebody in the chat said Ubisoft is also releasing that Skull and Bones game this year. I forgot about that game.
The fucking
butt pirate
the pirate game. I ain't gonna discard nothing Ubisoft makes now, because I've been wrong twice about.
Did you enjoy Assassin's Creed 4?
I actually started playing it before I played Origins. I gotta pick it back up. I haven't gotten to the whole naval part of the game yet. I've just gotten to like just the setup of the story. The story seems really good.
Where he stole the dude's jacket. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Like,
spoilers.
Well,
motherfucker, it happens in the first 5 minutes.
Spoiler alert.
I was just about to play that.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't played a game, which is why I'm not mad if someone spoils it for me. Like, if you haven't played the game, it's like really old. I'm at the part where I'm disguised myself as an assassin, but he's actually a turncoat. He's actually working for the Templars.
Okay.
He's gonna betray the assassin.
I mean, he never becomes an assassin anyway. Just.
Well,
my god,
the persona he's
Face
faking
is back. Whoa.
is an
I
assassin.
have a beef with that game, but anyway.
Yeah, I know you have a beef with. So I'm just gonna play it. I'm just playing it because I just want to see how they progress from like Black Flag to Origins. I just find that really cool. So
listen, don't spoil Mario 64 for me. I was just about to play that. All right, last piece of PlayStation news before we wrap up this section. God of War finally got a release date. I find it confusing that they're just calling it God of War. I hate when they do this shit. But the game, the game drops April 20th, 2018 for the PS4. And then it's gonna have like a bunch of different like collector's editions and stuff like that. Are you guys excited for God of War?
Oh yeah, I'm getting it for sure.
I'm mildly excited.
Why?
Just because it's another single player game.
Yeah, are you one of those people that believes in single player games are dead? Are you one of those people?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I used to like God of War a lot back in the day, so I'm like I said, I'm mildly interested. I wasn't really excited when I saw the previews, but I'll play it.
I've always liked the story.
Go ahead.
My bad. I don't believe single player games are dead. It's just that it's a huge risk now that the games are $60 initially for coming out. So the content for a single player game has to be really good. Like everything needs to be A1 from top down if you're gonna go full price. $60.
I don't think the $60 thing is a big deal because when I was a kid, most games cost more than $60. I think the issue is most games aren't amazing. Like when I think off the top of my head, like what's a game that you say that like you're addicted to right now? Like I feel like I don't get addicted to games as I used to. Like I was addicted to Gears of War in high school, and I felt like Paragon was gonna be that game that like I was gonna get addicted to, and I was gonna become a tryhard and real good at. Like nowadays, I feel like there's a lot of good games that are just kind of in the middle, but I'm not addicted to them, if that makes sense.
I mean, there's a lot of single player games out there if you haven't played yet that's can be very addicting and very story driven. Like I say that.
Like, what's the last story driven game you felt compelled to replay it again? Because I remember when I was a kid, I used
Origins.
Origins. I'm not done with Origins, but I already would want to play it again. I would even say
Believe it or not,
Zelda Breath of the Wild as well.
Yeah,
I go back and play that again. It was fun.
Also, what is it? Mass Effect Andromeda. Believe it or not, I actually
I want to go back.
Want to play it again. So
I want to play that again, and also
I would play Hellblade again.
Yeah, I played
South Park.
But everything you're naming is very, very recent, which is kind of proving my point. Like I feel like
Witcher,
this past decade, like there just hasn't been that many games that you can name. There's like, I feel compelled to replay that game.
I'd play Wolf Among Us again. I love that game.
I'd play Wolf Among Us.
I'll play Watch Dogs 2 again.
Yeah, same.
I actually want to play Watch Dogs 2 again. Like,
Okay.
I think there's a lot of games. I just think I think the issue is there was a period of time where like single player games were just like one hit and quit. Like you'd play them once and then that's it, right? But like with this whole like change of like basically what Siege is and even what single player games are doing now, which is like live service stuff, they have to keep you playing their game as long as they humanly can, so like they can so they can make as much money as they humanly can. Because if the problem is that a multiplayer game is more alluring from like a monetization standpoint than a single player, because a multiplayer game you can keep updating it, you can keep making content for it and making a lot of money, and with a low like upstart. But like with a single player game, you have to put a lot of money to develop a single player game. Because there's a lot of like production standpoint that you have to like pay for, and with single player games you get a one hit and that's it. Like most of the time, like when you buy Wolfenstein, right, you get Wolfenstein, you play it and you're done. You're just like, all right, that was cool, that's it. They got their $60 and that's it. It's like, would you rather take a game like that from a business standpoint, or would you rather take a game that like Siege, where it's like, okay, we got Ethos to buy $60, and he bought year 1 season pass, and he bought year 2 season pass, and he's gonna buy season 3 season pass. They've already got like how much is that? Like almost $200 off of me almost. For the game.
Flex.
So, well, I mean, this is over the period of 3 years. So, like, this is it's not like anything like flexing. It's just like I think everybody would be like, yeah, like let's make a multiplayer game, or let's find a way where we can keep people to keep our games. So, I don't know.
It is what it is. I feel you. I guess I want to see more from God of War. Like, I am a God of War fan, but like these trailers just have not sold me. I don't care about the father-son dynamic. Like the axe gameplay just honestly looks boring. Like, just give me like a little 10-minute demo of him using something else. I just want to see is there more to offer than that damn axe. I
was talking to one of my friends in high school, and he actually hit me up about this. He said, which was just funny because I've never heard someone say that to me, but he was like, he asked me for my opinion about the game after seeing the story trailer. He was like, is it me, or does it feel wrong that I should care about like why are they trying to make me care so much about Kratos as like a person, something like that?
Yeah, Kratos is a motherfucking savage. I don't care about him and his son.
This is the nigga who was ripping people's heads off and yelling and screaming at them, and now they're trying to make an interpersonal like Last of Us story for him, and I'm just like, and he's like, I don't want that. And
that PlayStation formula.
Yeah, but and he's just like, and he said to me, he was just like, I'm just weirded out by it because it just doesn't feel like it fits. And so like we were talking about that, and we were talking about like, well, like Logan was really successful, and the thing of it, like, yeah, like Wolverine was basically like Kratos, like he would just run around and just start murking people. But like, I don't know, it's very, the tone is different. I think it's gonna be like, I like how the story seems to be insinuating that like this is done on purpose, because like he's trying to like, I guess, suppress that type of like personality he used to have.
His son has it too, though. That's the thing.
His son has it, and so then like that makes me question where like maybe they're just playing a whole trick on us, where like maybe halfway through the game like it turns into like what God of War used to be, and he just becomes this like savage. So I don't know, like ultimately if they do that, then I'll be like, yeah, bet I'll buy the game, I'll try it out. But I'm worried that like, I hope it's not like what you and me, we were talking about TBH, where like I hope it's not them trying to rebrand a last generation game now for like this current like Sony formula of big presentation with very generic combat. And
it is. Like that. When was this announced? Like 2 years ago, I think, wasn't it?
Assassin's Creed?
God of War. Every trailer, I feel like every trailer they've released has been the same. That's the problem, I guess. Every trailer that they've released has been the same. It's just him and his son. You gotta be a man.
They're really pushing the son.
Okay, Dad. And then like he throws his axe. And like, I feel like every trailer has been the same. Just show me a little. I just want something different. Just something different. Like it feels like everything has been the same.
I don't think they want to reveal too much about that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You don't
They're
have
trying to hide a lot. They're trying to hide exactly what.
That Star Wars trailer showed a whole lot, and it did not spoil the movie at all.
I'm sure we'll get something. We might get one more trailer at least before April, so we'll see.
Just show me a different angle of the game. That's all.
It's just like
better a demo.
Just show us
if you
a boss
played all
fight.
the other God
Yeah,
of Wars,
that's it. I want to see a boss fight. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, you're used to him being a savage, and like he's just not a savage anymore. Like
Right, somebody gets tired. He gets tired of it after a while.
And shit.
I mean,
I want to see that.
I mean, maybe it's just showing the growth of Kratos. That's what it is.
Nobody
like,
wants to see Kratos with a Sonic. Nigga.
I'm not.
Come on, like let's keep it real. Like
you've never picked up God of War and been like, man, I hope this nigga Kratos changed. Like,
I hope you
right. Yeah, absolutely right. But here's the thing, though. Hear me out. It's the fact that now that is because the last trailer it shows that anger and everything that Kratos used to be is clearly in his son, and what Kratos is trying to do is actually trying to suppress it in his son, and I think that's when it's going to turn up when his son starts to act like more like Kratos himself, and then there's going to be some type of battle between father and son where Kratos is trying to keep calm and his son is just going crazy.
He's basically this shit is the story of Batman and Damian Wayne. He's trying to make sure his son doesn't turn into a fucking savage, bro. He's seen this before.
I mean, I'm all for it. I'm getting a day one. I'm all.
So you ain't copping it in TV?
You know,
I'm still copping.
No,
right.
It's just like I just want to see a different angle. That's all.
All right.
Didn't Kratos die in the last game? Like, how is he?
Hey, yo, we don't.
I was just
nobody talks about this. Everybody's been hyped for the game, but I've been like the only person standing around like,
walk off. Like,
yeah.
what's happening here?
I've been the only one standing around like,
you
did he die?
This is
How is
one
he?
of the literally one of the first things that people said when
Yeah.
they saw this. We were like, what the hell? Like,
What
why
the
are you coming out
hell?
with another
Where's
God
the
of
Greek
War?
gods? Why is he in
Ignore it.
Nordic? What the fuck?
Right.
The hell is happening?
I'm just waiting on Devil May Cry to come back, man. God dang it.
Ah, man.
I love God of War, but I think God of War and Devil May Cry hand in hand are like my favorite platform action games. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. April 20th, it drops, and then they have like the $130, $150 edition. So who buying the toys?
$150?
Go ahead and get you a bag.
for a single player?
Yeah, you get like a toy with it or
Blow a
something.
bag and
Don't y'all like the
God of
little
War,
desk
man.
toys?
No.
Ah, man.
What do y'all call them? Collectibles?
Collectibles?
They're dolls.
I'm an adult. One little piece of PC news. Hi-Rez decided to implement Battlegrounds into a PUBG mode into Paladins. How you guys feel about this?
I'm a low key try it.
What's the
Never
name?
played it.
I don't
I don't
understand. So Paladins is basically the free to play Overwatch. Yeah, like so how are they gonna balance this? I don't understand.
That's why I want to play it. I want to see how they figure this
My
out.
homie said it was lit. He said he went to the Hi-Rez expo that they had in Atlanta last month.
Really?
And,
What's
And
what's
he said
what's
it was
his
pretty good.
what's his like what's his what's the word experience with like battleground games though?
he really doesn't have an experience because he doesn't have.
So his opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean,
Wow. Holy shit.
Damn.
man.
I'm just
Man,
saying, like, he
they
does.
beat
I
him.
was asking, does he know anything about balance or anything like that? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I feel like a tank is gonna win this every time.
I have no idea. I had never played Paladin, so I guess I'll download and try it out. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a squad game. I don't think that they're going to have solos at all. So,
I'll just-
but I don't know how it's going to work. We'll like the different heroes and then like, get to the map.
Maybe if they make it to where like you vote for like what class everybody. So like everybody at the beginning votes. We're only playing assassins or we're only playing warriors. Maybe like that. But like if everybody just gets to pick whatever character they want, I don't get how it's gonna work.
I heard it's like a 5v5. So like your team, you have a team of 5. Like as you would like playing like let's say Overwatch, you'd make
like
your team.
arena.
Yeah, and then they drop you in with different teams of 5, and so like it has like that Overwatch gameplay that you have like just trying to kill each other like a deathmatch. But then there's like the roles and stuff, so it would be like your tank has to run up in front, and then they have like they're dropping cards or something like that or items on the map, and you have to get them to boost your character's power, some shit like that.
You have to like loot out.
Okay, that makes more
gear
sense.
is what it was
That makes
saying.
more
But
sense.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't-
I've heard.
I don't know.
I've
I
seen a
have to
little
see
bit.
it in action because we still haven't seen anything of this. So keeping it on the wrap.
I was thinking everybody just drops in and it's every man for themselves. But if it's squads, that makes more
Yeah,
sense.
it's squad based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
this
I
out
definitely
already?
try that. Nah,
No, it's not out.
when does it
No.
come out?
They still haven't announced a date.
We haven't
yet.
announced a date.
Oh, okay.
Probably March.
I would say
maybe
spring.
April.
Yeah. like March,
So the
April.
question is, do you think all the big streamers are gonna hop on this one, or are they gonna stick to Fortnite?
I think they will for a second to try it out.
All it's gonna do is take one big streamer to do it, and all the
Yeah.
other big streamers are gonna follow suit. That's
Yeah,
that's
And do you
it.
also-
Hi-Rez got money.
Do
They'll
you
sponsor
feel like
somebody.
they're implementing this mode because they have a genuine interest in it, or because they're trying to attract,
It's money.
attract the
Hi-Rez has
streamers and
always
the
been about
YouTubers?
I
chasing
mean,
money.
Yeah, they're trying to
you
attract
know the answer
YouTubers
to
and
that
streamers.
already.
you know,
Hi-Rez.
you know.
That's a high-res history lesson right there. High-res is notorious for doing that shit.
Wow, so you got a beef with Hi-Rez or something? Well, you want to tell
On
us?
site.
That's right, you was trash at Smite. That's right, you was.
Yeah, you
Oh.
remember that? You remember that Nox gameplay? Yeah,
No.
I'm never forgiving high-res for
Never
that shit.
forget. Yeah.
And then only to find out that she was trash. I was, oh man.
Ain't trash no more apparently.
Yeah, apparently she's really good.
Somebody in the chat said that they're aiming for next month, so I guess look out for Paladins Battle Royale. That should be interesting. Definitely gonna stream that when that comes out. I'm interested to see how that plays.
Yeah, and see if it's good or trash.
That was your one piece of this guy. Your one piece of PC news. I'll let Jay take the floor on this one. Some quick hits, some random stories. Gaming disorder is now a mental health condition. Break this down for us, Jay. What are we talking about here?
So currently the World Health Organization is in serious talks to like make a gaming disorder an actual mental health condition. They like the main problem right now, and again when I was looking at this, I was like, how are you going to correctly classify this? What they're saying is it's supposed to be impaired control with increased priority given to gaming and escalation. It's supposed to be like in a period of 12 months, maybe less, depending on what's going on. Like if you're actually like having issues, not only socially but mentally. But again, I think it's still going to be hard nonetheless. But I'm legit trying to see like what they're gonna do, because you already know that a lot of people, like, we already called off for work, and I've done it plenty of times when I was a Call of Duty crackhead, just trying to play a damn game. But I'm really trying to see like how they're gonna actually classify this without people trying to exploit it. But I do legit know.
What do you mean by exploit?
Like I just said, like
with anything,
just say, hey man, I have a condition, and you end up getting like actually diagnosed with it, and when nothing's really wrong with you. Because a lot of people.
Well, why would you want to do that?
Because there's a lot of lazy people in the world that would use that as an excuse to be able to do whatever they want.
Right. A lot of people say that there's stuff wrong with them just to get drugs.
I got a gaming disorder.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, exactly.
See, I don't think like that. I'm not a fucking scumbag. I don't think like that.
Well, there's a lot of those in the world, TBH.
A lot of people that will legit do that. Like, just imagine how many people say, I have a gaming disorder and I can't go to work for like a week, and they just sit at home playing Call of Duty or whatever.
Hey, boss, my thumb's having withdrawals. I gotta play this Call of Duty.
So like, it's gonna be difficult, but they're in serious talks. Because I know people that like they just play games, or I see people that just play games and like they have no social life, no girlfriends, no nothing, and like it's severely like affecting their life. And those are the people that need to get like actually treated, because you can't get addicted to anything. And a lot of people are addicted to video games. They play it 12 hours or more a day, and that's not healthy, man. That's not healthy.
Not at all.
You're actually not being able to get outside, not eating, not going to the bathroom, not worried about the hygiene. So
spend weeks without taking a bath and everything like that, but playing all the games and whatnot. That's gross, and then you're just surrounded by filth and people.
So the question is, because the health system out here is fucked up. You think insurance companies will cover this? Like, say you need to go see a therapist?
No.
Insurance, well, it's a chance that they will. It depends on, again, how many people do it. But it's going to be more for, like, the actual facilities. Like, the facilities that you go to for alcohol addiction.
It's gonna be...
You good? You good, man?
Yeah.
Okay, you're breaking up. All right, go ahead.
Nah, it just really depends.
I feel that it really depends. It really does depend.
It really depends.
The severity of everything itself, because
you were breaking up again, man.
Damn it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with you right now, but yeah. What you said.
So I guess it is what it is. Does anybody else have anything to say on this one?
I think we're gonna see a lot of these cases pop up, because now that video gaming is like taking like a big eye in the media now, with the professional leaguing and the streaming and all that stuff like that. I can imagine people who like force themselves to be like, I'm gonna try to play this game every day so I can actually make money out of it, try to get sponsored or so on and so forth, and then they just end up following into this video game addiction and whatnot. So I can believe that there's going to be a lot of like real legit cases, and the reason behind it is they're just trying to make a living out of it and so on and so forth.
I mean, there's a lot of people that have it though, just like hoarders. It's just, it happens. Mm-hmm. People do it. It's known. I mean, I think it's good that they finally decided to diagnose this as a disorder, because a lot of people suffer from it. But as if anything, like we've been saying the entire time, it's just going to be a lot of people in the world that's going to try to take advantage of it, and it's just going to mess it up for the people that actually suffer from this, because it is a huge issue. It is.
Yeah. And I think they just need to look into more for specialists about it, because it is League is a legit sport now, so you got to have some kind of specialist that that play games a lot, that'll know like the signs or the issues that anybody can go through.
So you think all these people that are playing in the the Overwatch E-League, and then you got the 2K one coming, of course you got League of Legends, so it's already there. You think maybe teams should like hire like a team doctor and just like have them talk to their players? Because I know for the 2K League, they said it's mandatory. You're going to be practicing 9 hours a day. I would imagine for League it's more. Like, you think that
9 hours
a day? Do you think every team should get a team doctor and should be talking to the players like on a daily basis?
Nah, that's ridiculous.
Yes, absolutely.
9 hours? That is a full work shift. That's 9 hours.
And the worst part is the 2K League, they said you practice 9 hours a day, and you have to live in a house with a bunch of other dudes. Nah, I can't do it.
Yeah. Overwatch
Yeah,
is just like that too.
That could mess you up mentally. So yes, I do agree. I mean, even though like we try to avoid it for so long, again, I still don't think that it's not a professional sport. Like it's not a professional physical sport, but it is a sport now. Like esports is a real thing. So yeah, they should get pretty much every single thing that actual NFL and NBA players. Yeah, they should get every single
just
thing.
somebody to be like,
system.
hey man, how you feeling today? Because that goes a long way.
They need a doctor, mental. They definitely need legal. There's definitely a lot of them that need that legal representation, and as well as talent agents and all that other sort of stuff, because they get the same type of shit. Like they get fined. Like I think what was it? Just recently, someone in the Overwatch community they got fined for cursing during one of the live events. So I mean,
they got fined too for flipping off like during a live event too. They got fined $1,000.
Another dude got fined for doing some gay.
They getting them NFL rules, the no fun league, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
I mean, they should get fined for flipping off somebody. Like that's
sure,
unwarranted.
but like if it's in the middle of like a heated game and you guys lose a tough one, I can't be mad at someone and be like, "Damn, we're saying shit." But like, yeah,
no, he was just going off. Yeah, he was just going off on.
Okay.
Somebody. Yeah.
Okay. He deserved to be fined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I look out for that. It'll be interesting to see how this story develops.
But the question is, what do you think is going to be the first like ESPN type show? What do you think they're going to call it?
Gaming? They're going to have like a first take for gaming or undisputed gaming.
Undisputed gaming?
Yeah. Motherfuckers are just going to yell at each other. Team Envy is better than whatever.
Who's going to be the Michael Jordan for us versus the LeBron debate? We're going to figure out what's a faker.
Sonic Fox will destroy the Filipino champ.
Fucking crazy, dude. That'll be hilarious.
Speaking of mental health, though, Blizzard is now using social media to catch toxic players. That means I can no longer play Overwatch because they're gonna ban me. So basically, what they're doing is it's no longer like, well, you can still report people, but now they're actively looking. They have a team at Blizzard that's actively looking for people who are being toxic. So if you post videos of yourself talking shit on Overwatch, you could just end up logging in one day and being banned because they are looking for your ass. So I guess I'm retired. The Silver Savage is retired. So just a heads up, if you like the shit talking Overwatch, look out for that shit because they are not playing. I guess because of the whole E-League thing, I guess they're trying to be super professional and they want their regular platform.
Nah, just the game in general is a fucking toxic wasteland.
But I just feel like I don't know. Like they're trying too hard to make it a safe place now.
For the record, my brother got hit with that shit. I was dying laughing.
Oh, he actually did. Oh,
yeah, I was watching him play Overwatch when he was over here a couple months ago, and I went by his screen and I noticed like this little red icon. So I looked at it and it said like due to an egregious amount of reports done by
and egregious. That's a big word.
They said we've disabled your ability to text chat or voice IP for 3 days. Yeah, so he got blocked for like 3 days straight. He couldn't do
it. When they first implemented that.
Nah, that's happened to me.
Detective voice thing.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before. I got chat banned in League of Legends.
Toxic too.
Look, I'm not toxic. Just don't do no dumb shit.
Don't do dumb shit. That's always it. Just don't do no dumb shit, please. We'll be fine.
There's nothing wrong with a little toxicity. It helps the blood flow.
I've seen them doing that because the Overwatch channel they got, the competitive league channel they have now. They used to let people like comment all sorts of stuff in there, and now they actually got a mod after like 3 weeks in, and they started banning people because they kept spamming like emotes and saying some stuff over and over again. So I guess they're trying to clean up their community a little bit.
They realize that their community is huge now.
Yeah, they trying to get good for the E-League, I guess. Other gaming news, Facebook is coming for Twitch and YouTube. If you guys are looking for another platform to enjoy gaming content on, Facebook is fully invested in gaming. They've launched a pilot program where gamers can make money on Facebook now through various different, I think like donations and then like ads. If you live stream to Facebook, it seems like that's what they're really focusing on. I know they have a deal with the ESL to promote like various esports events on Facebook. So I mean, if you're frustrated with YouTube or Twitch, Facebook is now a different option. If you guys, right now it's in beta, but you can sign up and get on the wait list. We got the link on the website. They say many gaming creators monetize their videos directly from the support of their passionate fans, and we're actively exploring ways for our fans to back their favorite gaming content via payments during their live streams on Facebook. Based on the results of our initial test, we'll expand our fan support monetization initiatives to more gaming creators, including participants in our initial pilot program. How you guys feel about? You guys feel like Facebook could actually like could complete the big three? Could it be the one that brings some competition to Twitch and YouTube?
Absolutely.
Trash, so sure.
Nah, Facebook Live has always been doing so very well, and I've already seen a lot of people in the YouTube community that do like drinks and everything along those lines and makeup tutorials go over and do it to Facebook Live, and they'll do it like once a week.
Facebook's dead. Yeah, I gotta stop saying that. I see a lot of Facebook is dead. Facebook's like the number 2 website in the world. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Facebook.
You may not
don't
use
get
it.
Twitter getting you all fucked up thinking that you don't.
Look,
need
Twitter's the one that's struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook has been very prominent for a while, and with Facebook Live and everything being implemented, and now they're trying to get gaming personalities over there too. I definitely do think it can complete the big 3 for sure.
I know they cutting big checks over there on Facebook too.
Facts.
They got to clean up their interface though, because like
Big
for
max.
Facebook, in order to live stream on there, you have to get a new a live stream key every time you start. So it's like that shit's annoying.
They're trying to change it. Actually, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to change it so you can keep the same key for the same stream.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're looking to do when I tested it out yesterday.
And you can low-key get away with some copyright shit on Facebook Live compared to YouTube and Twitch, but you didn't hear that from me.
This guy. Yeah, so I mean, I guess if you're I don't know, like you're trying to get into monetize on YouTube, look into Facebook, build up your Facebook audience. I've been trying to do it over the past couple of months because it never hurts to have another platform. Don't ever put all your eggs in one basket.
Facts.
So yeah, look out for that. It'll be interesting what Facebook does over the next year or so. What other news we got? Rocket League is doing something that nobody has seen before yet. At least I don't think they've been done. So cross-platform play, that's nothing new, but they're working on a cross-platform party system. So if somebody's on PlayStation and you're on PC, you can be in the same party and move together and communicate.
I did it first.
Did they?
Yeah, you can invite PS4 people.
Oh yeah, they did. That game doesn't exist anymore, so what does it matter?
Oh, man.
But you said first. They did it first.
Well, I was like, I don't know if it's the first. That's what I was like. I was trying to think. I forgot
With some
about
clout on Paragon, boy.
That was a unique feature too. Now that I think about it, goddamn Paragon. That's
We almost had Xbox.
What's today? So I mean, I guess that's cool. Like, are you guys still playing Rocket League?
No.
I haven't played
this shit a long time.
Ain't nobody playing that
I
shit.
think it's been about a year since I've played Rocket League, but it was fun when it lasted. It was it was enjoyable. Then I see that it came to the Switch, and a lot of people are enjoying it on the Switch. I mean, that's cool, but I don't think I'm gonna download it again. I'm alright.
I've never played it, so
Oh,
I
it's fun.
ran out of space on my PlayStation. Something had to go.
Damn. You holding your games hostage?
Let's see. Red Dead Redemption 2 release date leaked, possibly. What was it? It was a website they accidentally posted. They were saying that it's supposed to come out June 8th, 2018. Do you guys care about this game? Did the date do anything for
That's
you?
a lie.
How do you know?
That's a motherfucking lie. There's no way Red Dead Redemption. I'm willing to bet that. No way Red Dead coming out in June this year? Nah, you tripping.
Well, it's
If
definitely
anything.
supposed to come out this year, isn't it?
Nah, there ain't been no announcement saying shit about it coming out this year. That's people, again, just making assumptions. It's either going to come out, if anything, it's going to come out in holiday of this year. That's if it's together. Or they going to launch it early 2019. They ain't about to launch that shit in June. Come on now. Nah.
June wouldn't be too far-fetched, but again, what Etho said, they generally do release their games either spring or fall, so I don't know.
Delete this shit.
I don't know.
What's it? It's about time, man. Fucking GTA 5. Can you believe GTA 5 came out in 2013? Like, Jesus Christ.
And still dropping content.
It's still going. Dead or Alive 5, Last Round is Dead. Didn't you like this shitty fighting game, Ethos?
The one I beat your ass in? Yeah, you know it.
Oh, shit.
The button mashing game, the one I wasn't trying in.
I'm just hearing somebody who's salty to losing to me a lot of times.
Well, it must be really impressive to be good at a game that doesn't exist
You was
anymore.
trying to get that rematch and you still ain't seen me yet.
When did I try to get a rematch in Dead or
No, my
Alive
bad.
5,
Was that,
bro?
no. That
Hey,
was-
pull up on this Dragon Ball, though.
You buying it for me?
Nah, bro, I don't buy
Yeah,
shit,
you
nigga.
good?
I'm broke.
I'll beat your ass in Tekken though one day. Don't
Somebody
worry.
donate so
Oh,
Ethos
man.
can get this damn Dragon Ball.
Okay.
What's the name? So this shit is dead. Did anybody care about Dead or Alive 5?
Nah,
No,
I'm
they need to
good.
just stop fucking around and drop 6. This shit been a whole generation old game. They need to drop that shit now.
I don't think anybody cares about Dead or Alive besides the titties, bro. The fighting
Hey,
game.
that's what makes it awesome. Okay.
It's just not. It's fundamentally just not a good fighting game.
You just hating because you suck at it. It's all good.
Oh man,
I'd rather suck at a bad game, so it's all good.
Okay.
Exactly. What's the name? Last bit of news: 2K announces the NBA 2K League Combine. What is this, Jay?
This is basically the next step of the 2K League. So everybody who was sitting up there grinding for all of January got those 50 Pro-Am wins. Now we're about to move on to the next step if you applied, of course. So apparently from February 2nd through the 21st, they're going to have a whole bunch of windows that you will have to play these combine games. So there are going to be 12 playing windows, and you're going to be matched up with random people. So if you were playing with a squad the whole time, you're not going to be playing with them. So it's just going to be like a regular NBA combine. You know how they just come in and then they play.
Are they actually in a gym? I'm confused by this.
No, they're not going to physically be in the gym. They're going to
it's a bunch of TVs in the gym and shit.
See. I was called a hater when I said this earlier, but
it's going to be online, bro.
So why they call it a combine if it ain't a combine?
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say in the DMs, fam.
But this is what they're doing, man. This is just what they're doing.
They're gonna be in the gym with their little headbands and shit.
Yeah, it's still going to be online, bro. It's still going to be online.
Oh my god, you gonna have.
Did you just say they will have their competitive season online?
This is just the next step of the qualification process.
Like the tryouts.
Literally the tryouts. They're trying to see how you play, like with your my player, with your position, like with other random people.
So do they gotta in the combine? Do they gotta like do the thing where like they gotta jump for their vertical and stuff like that?
Suspect word I've never heard.
They gotta do the memory test.
That's why I said they gotta put e-combine or something like that. Like look,
this combine.
Look, I think that's cool and everything like that for like for exactly, like for esports and everything. Cool, esports athlete. This is just a little much. A combine for a 2K basketball game.
Too much.
That's a little much, fam. Come on,
you gotta earn your spot, bro.
You gotta earn your spot, but can they call it something else?
Can we call it tryout?
Hey, you know what? So you're mad at the combine, then? You're mad at them calling it a combine?
No, because the combine is.
When is this season even gonna start? It's almost all.
It's gonna start in March. In March they'll start choosing your players. So unless they have
March to what?
There's still no date yet. This is just an Excel. This is all they announced. So in March they're going to start actually choosing people, I presume.
I don't know. This is a lot, man. Like I said, if you're trying to do this, it's cool. If you about that life and everything like that, that's cool. I just think it's kind of like interesting. Like, yo, where you about to go, my dude? Like, nah, I gotta get ready for this combine. Oh, word, you training? Nah, man, they gotta go sit in front of the house and just start playing the game.
I hope they do drills to see who can steal the ball with their knee the most in the combine, because that's really balanced in 2K.
I'm just trying to figure out. So let me get straight. So 2K is trying to get together a e-league of coons to play 2K.
Yes.
In one room.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't think they're gonna fight each other when one team tries some stupid?
Well, the thing is, like, they're being very strict because this is the NBA.
They're under contract.
Involved.
They're under contract.
So it's like it's like I remember seeing one of the team managers actually saying like, clean up your stream. You can't be like they don't want niggas basically. Which is funny because it's a nigga game.
I don't think they understand that like
their demographic.
I'm pretty sure the top 10% of like people who play 2K are coons. Like
but that's exactly what I'm saying. I tweeted this person. I was like, yo, I don't know, man.
You can't build your community, which is built of coons, and like put them all in one room.
And park niggas.
Like all they do on YouTube is beef with each other. Like, do you know your community? Like,
you're censoring them.
Hold on, half of them probably already hate the other half, so they're probably gonna fight each other on site. They're not even gonna get to the basketball game. I don't know. This ain't a good idea. I'm sorry.
If it's televised, it's a great idea. It's gonna be.
And this is not a shot at the 2K community because there's some dudes in the community that are dope. Like obviously Flock, Dooms, D-Man, and some people like that. Like Chase, like they're all like all of them. They cool, but there's some of that part in 2K community that just does too much, and I don't know, fam, if they're gonna be able to make this combine, and y'all can hear me put the air quotes.
I already can see in my mind the people that gonna be a part of this. And
hey, my nigga, you gonna steal the ball with your knees, man?
Eto's not a big baller. Triple B got the plan.
I've watched a couple of the 2K community, and as you know, GI's had its own issues with certain people in that community, and it's not a.
D-Man said, D-Man dribble god, stop it, D-Man.
I don't know if I want to be there when that goes down.
I think it'll be entertaining. It'll definitely see how
It'll be entertaining.
uncivilized they are.
Definitely. Chaos.
What's the
We'll see,
name?
man.
I forgot this last thing on my notes. Shout out to Ratio. I saw you in the chat. It reminded me. I accidentally
Baller.
skipped over it. There's a My Hero game coming out. What is it called? My Hero Academia One's Justice. Did y'all look at this gameplay?
Looked kind of trash.
Yeah.
It looks.
Whoa, don't use that
No,
word. You're not allowed to use that word. Stop it. You're gonna get everybody in the comments. Stop.
You got
Come
Deku
on.
and Kai-Chan fighting.
Come on, Ethos. Come on, man.
It kind of looks like Power Stone, but like a shitty version of it. And like, I'm a super My Hero fan, but I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this, bro. How y'all feel about this?
When he was running up the wall, I was getting Shinobi Striker flashbacks immediately. I was like, "Oh man, this camera about to be horrible."
It feels like they're just trying to cash in on the popularity of the show.
Yeah.
And like they're not really trying to make a good game. Because they also announced a Black Clover show, and I'm like, Black Clover has like 10 episodes out. Like, why does Bandai keep doing this? They keep let the show marinate.
I don't know. They gotta start early before
Nigga, do you see them textures, my nigga?
Yeah, it looked like a PS3 game.
Do you see the textures? Like, I don't know, man.
It looked like an up-res PS3 game.
It
I'm
don't
not
look
gonna lie.
good, but
It
It looks like it needs to be on my iPhone.
I don't see
I'm
a
being real with
lock-on
you.
system. It looks like they
No
just run all over the
lock-ons.
place.
I can play this on my phone, man. Let's be real.
I don't know about this.
I'll
And then,
leave it for a
as
second.
far as the story, how far is it going to go into the story? Like, I just feel like it's a little too early for a My Hero game.
Somebody
I don't
said,
know.
Wii U?
Watching 5 minutes of this dude just getting his ass beat. I don't know about this.
Yes, I mean, I guess look out for this. I don't know when it's supposed to. I think they said it's supposed to come out 2018. Let me back up to this.
Ooh, that throw was nice though. You seen that throw?
Nah, who's playing in this video, bro? They trash. Like, he's been getting whooped on the whole game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, he gets stuck
Like
in the
now they're
building,
fighting on a
though?
building.
Oof.
Look,
Don't
see,
quote me
Oh
on that,
my
but I think
God.
it's supposed to come out
I don't know,
2018.
man.
So look
Wait,
out for
is
that.
Is there
My Hero.
destructible?
Here?
Is this
I
a
believe
destructible
so.
environment?
Yeah, it looks pretty
Yeah.
destructive. to me.
Damn, so
Yeah, it
you
looks
mean-
destructible.
Might get
Oh,
this.
damn. So Crackdown
Yeah,
can't do this, but this game can? Okay, true.
But
I don't
here's the
think that's
thing,
the
though.
same thing,
If
though,
you,
eh?
I know you
I know.
watched it, Ethos. Do you remember them running on the wall and fighting?
No.
When they first showed this?
Like in this part,
In the show?
they
Oh,
were
the
not
show?
running on the
No.
wall doing all this.
No,
No,
they weren't. I don't recall.
Deku could
them
only
at
run on the
all.
wall when he fought Stain.
I don't.
No,
I
he
don't.
can just leap off stuff.
Yeah, I just seen
don't
him
know about
leaping and
running on
shit. I've never seen. Yeah,
it
the
was
Took like
some
two
Naruto
steps,
shit.
leap
I
off.
feel like this is gonna be like Naruto, and you just spam one button to do a
Yeah,
whole
just
combo.
hit it.
BBAB.
Yeah, BBAB.
And then the community is gonna claim it's a deep fighter, and everybody's gonna be like, "Shut up."
Shut up! You guys can't get your servers right.
So I guess look out for that. That was announced during the Jump Festa, which is like some super weeb thing. But that's all I got on my podcast notes. Does anybody got anything else they want to add to the show before we wrap it up?
Are we good?
This is longer than I thought it was gonna be. There's some good conversations in this one.
Some people gonna be triggered.
Some people will be triggered, but it is what it is. I guess we'll wrap this show up. You got the floor, King Killjoy, first guest, man. What is your closing statement for Gaming Illuminati episode 67? Go.
I don't know, man. It was a pleasure to be here. I do just want to address one little piece of slander that TBH had in the video. Don't come to West Baltimore. We thug out here. Don't do that.
Are you got internet out there?
Oh, don't play me. Nah, see, look, I'm gonna be real with you. You got me on that. But here's the thing. I'm in PA school right now, so that's different.
What you go to Morgan or something?
Morgan? Nah. I'm in Pennsylvania at school.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, you good. That's good, man. Y'all got internet out there. Good for y'all, man.
I gotta address this slander. Sensational.
Let's see. Other Patreon backer, Young Horatio. What's your closing statement for episode 67? Go.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, and yeah, I'm gonna jump on that Killjoy about hey, Black, stop coming at Mississippi like that, man. You know we coming up, all right. I know nobody want to go there. You ain't got to keep reminding me every day. Anyway, yeah, man. Shout out to all the guys. We played DBZ that opening night for the people that we could connect to. Nomads and Steven and Chaos and all y'all. Appreciate it, man. It was pretty cool. Yeah, that's it, man. Thank y'all for having me again.
Cool. Ethos, you got the floor. Closing statement, guy.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Appreciate it. I'm busy, so I won't be able to stream for a while, and I've been dealing with a lot of shit. But other than that, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, you got the floor. Go.
Yeah, appreciate everybody coming through. Thank y'all. We're gonna be on that Dragon Ball FighterZ, running some lobbies. So if y'all want to get the hands of a guide, y'all already know where to come through. Let's get it.
Okay. And JG, UTX Contagion of Dawn. Go ahead and spread your message.
Everybody sick. I appreciate everybody coming through. Another podcast completed. We're gonna see what's going on in February, man. We got a couple things going on, so be sure that you definitely tune in to the Twitch channels for me and TH. With your support, man, maybe we can get something popping. You dig?
Right. And my closing statement for tonight's episode is just thanks for coming through. Remember, secure the bag, because if you're not securing the bag, then you broke it. If you broke, can't get no hoes. But you don't love the hoes, okay? You just, you acknowledge them, and then you make love to them. Well, you don't make love to them, because they hoes. I don't know what I'm saying.
You can take me 2018, fam. Stop. Stop it.
Remember, the Gaming Illuminaughty podcast is available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and the Google Play Store. We have an app you can take on the go, iOS and Android. It's totally free. Search Gaming Illuminaughty on your respective app store. Just keep in mind we spell Illuminati with the word naughty as in naughty or nice. If you would like to appear on the show, support us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/GI updates. We have all different type of rewards in line for those who choose to financially support us. There will be a link in the description box below if you're viewing the video version at youtube.com/theblack-Hokage. Other than that, that's all I got to say. This has been Gaming Illuminaughty episode 67. Till next time, motherfucker. And thanks for watching my video. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you'll never miss another video. Also consider pledging my Patreon. It helps keep the lights on. There's a link in the description box below. Peace.